Hello everyone, and welcome to tonight at the Obscura, where we're going to be covering the Complete Waifu Handbook. Now, I did get a message or two, like, in the last 24 hours being like, hey, is this book for real? Like, for real? It can't be. Surely not. No, it is for real. And it is for Pathfinder 1st Edition, D&D 5 5th Edition, and Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Or at the very least, it's compatible. Thanks, Nightbot. But no, couple of things before we really dive into it. One, this is not sponsored. The good people at Loading Through Crafts don't even know I'm doing this. There's a part of me that feels like I probably should have reached out to them, but fuck it, yeah? We both? Two. Although this is the Complete Waifu Handbook, and some shenanigans will happen through the course of our discussions around this book, I would like to point out that the writer behind this wrote this in earnest. You're meant to keep it secret. The writer did write this in earnest, and it's supposed to be lighthearted and fun. I might do a little bit of some design pointing out and stuff like that, but when it comes down to it, the writer and the designer behind this their intentions were good, and it was meant in good faith, so I want to be approaching this in good faith as well. Otherwise, we can't go through the entire book, because it's 350 pages. Like, that's the whole thing. And like, they have a whole setting in here, like with NPCs and stuff like that. Like, when this was sent to me by Mata, like the link to the Kickstarter, I was like, surely not. And it's come out a lot better than I thought it would. Speaking of, if you want to check this out for yourself, they do have the PDF up on their website, so if you want to get it for yourself. Otherwise, what we're probably going to focus on this evening is the ancestries and the classes and subclasses. We're probably going to go through them one at a time. I am probably going to skip the 5e sections and the Pathfinder 1 sections, but otherwise, I'm kind of ready just to jump into it. And here we go. So, I'm going to read this out because it is kind of important for the context of the book itself. You might be asking yourself, what did I just buy? First of all, I would personally like to thank you for purchasing this book. This project was something of an impulse creation that turned into a fascinating and very fun experience. Originally, this book was designed as what I called a Valentine's Day shitpost that I intended to drop from my YouTube channel. The Complete Waifu Handbook was meant to be a small 20-page document that had waifu-themed subclasses for 5e. It was meant to serve as practice so I could design more 5e stuff in the future. However, right before I was about to post the PDF on our website, a commenter named Mine Flameblade asked us to add waifu races so they could play as a fox girl. A year and a half later, we raised an incredibly successful Kickstarter, and my little shitpost became some of the finest work I've ever produced. This book is meant to be a fun and goofy experiment. I myself am in a happy and committed marriage, and I have taken elements of what I've learned from that marriage and incorporated that into this book. While we include enough flavor text for more serious players, the concepts, classes, races, and ancestries found in this book is meant to bring levity and wholesomeness to your RPG table. I genuinely hope you find content that is both funny but also sweet. Waifu races is just an amazing term, right? Wait for it. Intentions. Many of the classes and subclasses in this book are developed with teamwork in mind. Nearly all of them mention that you are married, are in a relationship, have close friends, or have mechanics that only work on allies. Our design philosophy is to eliminate concepts that encourage what is commonly referred to as main character syndrome, where a single person is capable of defeating an entire encounter or have several abilities that either invalidate or completely overshadow other characters and classes. Gender and relationships. While most of the artistic examples in this book feature women, all races, classes, and features are available to all characters regardless of any gender or orientation. Nearly every class is designed around monogamous relationships. There is nothing that limits these to traditional straight or hetero relationships. Just say fighter. Well. Just 8 new races. Just bleh. Yeah, it's kind of packed with this kind of art as well. Just so we're all aware. I'm not sure whether this will be going onto YouTube or not. What? The honeymoon moments. There are a few subclasses and mechanics in this book that allude to potential erotic encounters. The subclass found on page 136 to 138 called the Love Mage specifically mentions that you must take your long or short rests in the arms of another. While the implication is certainly there, that does not mean that your character is required to have sexual encounters in order to regain their abilities. The Warlock subclass, the Affair, also mentions similar situations where the player character and their patron courting need 8 hours of privacy in order to gain tokens of affection. We suggest stretching the terms and allowing those classes to encourage roleplay. Maybe the patron in the Affair allows the party to hang out with them for a platonic evening full of food and fun stories, while still granting a token of affection. Alternatively, the Love Mage might just be giving a comforting hug to someone. Eroticism isn't required for these mechanics to work, and we do not recommend attempting to force that into your game if your GM and table are not comfortable with those scenarios. Teamwork is the main theme of this book, and the puns, names, and innuendos are meant for comedy. Now, last two things. Notes from Stuart. Periodically throughout this book, you will see notes from me, Stuart, the creator, and author of this book. Hi, these notes are candid suggestions to help make the experience as fun and engaging for the players as possible. It's also a good way to explain the goal of the entry without diving into game speak. And marriage. Keeping it simple. For the purpose of this book, a marriage is a sacred contract between two people to stay committed to each other for the remainder of their lives. While you can change the meaning for your games, classes and subclasses presented in this book are balanced around single partner marriages. Now, I appreciate the fact that the book just comes out swinging and goes, just lays it down and out, and is like, this is the intentions, this is what we're trying to do. There's a lot of books that handle content not of just the romantics type, but like horror examples and other things. And the authors just don't want to touch it. And they're just like, here's the book, go nuts, do whatever you want. But I like the fact that they kind of laid out the intentions from the get-go. You don't see that enough, and I would like to see it more often. Otherwise, where was it? Yeah, I think Joe Cat contributed some art to this. So I'm kind of, yeah. Anyway, one thing I will say from the get-go, and this is more of a pet peeve, you can't see it, but this PDF does not have bookmarks. So we are going to be returning to the index a couple of times. I'm going to be, as is usual for my kind of streams when I cover content like this, I'm going to be skipping most of the lore type stuff. Mainly for the point of I want you to be able to experience it when you get the PDF for yourself. And I tend to go from more of a mechanical side of things, or at least from the design. But enough of all that. Chapter 1, Races and Ancestries. Now, the ancestries we're going to be dealing with Lamia, snake yokai race born with the curse of passion. Cat yokai race with natural necromancy and a breath weapon that acts as a fireball. Nymph, beautiful fae who act as the true shepherds of the natural world. You just hit my 15-year-old self with the right in my neck. Okami, wolf yokai race hailing from many different magical wolf tribes. Saladin, honorable sand elf warriors from the deserts of Salabim. Shinryujin, immortal godkin who can transform into dragons that are sent to protect humanity. Yuri, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Corporeal undead ghosts who aren't ready to leave their loved ones. And Zenko, foxfolk who serve the god of luck and fortune. Now, waifu races. The races presented in this book are inspired by Arabic, Celtic, and Japanese mythology, as well as popular tactics RPG. While these races and ancestries are inspired by these cultures and games, we'd like to emphasize that these were designed to fit an original, anime-flavored setting and have no direct ties to the original cultures. Aww. But some of the things to note is that they've done something very interesting with the layout for this book, in which, if it's in 5th edition, it's kind of shaded in red. If it's for 1E, it's been shaded in yellow, and Pathfinder 2E, it's been shaded in green. Also, I still think it's hilarious that you legally cannot say Dungeons and Dragons in a third-party book. You're not allowed to say it. I still think that's buck fucking wild. So, here's our first. Where have they got it? There we go, Lamia. Like, say what you will, I am enjoying this art so damn much. Adusa Lamia. Yes, darling, my people are cursed with obsession, but it's thanks to this curse that sparked my desire to wander, my desire to create, and my desire for you. Regardless of where my passions come from, just know that it brought me to you. See, aw. Like, so much of this just feels adorable. How many pens do I gotta spend to make you read a whole section with wife instead of waifu? I don't know. I mean, by the looks of things, they do kind of use the two terms interchangeably. But, like I said, we're gonna skip a lot of the lore stuff. Physiology and philosophy, lifespan, alignment, and religion. Philosophical prenames, physical prenames. Like, they've got into a lot of detail with this. Reputation, religion. Oh god. So alright, I do need to mention something, because there's something that a lot of people are tempted to do when they start writing out a Pathfinder second third-party book, in which they try to copy exactly what Paizo does. For instance, let's go to... So, for instance, in the Pathfinder 2 book, they'll go through... You look too close to the ad, take it off stream? Alright. With Pathfinder 2, they do the you might, others probably physical description society. When you see a lot of third-party books doing Pathfinder 2, they're always... Most of the ones that I've seen do the same thing, but you don't have to. Like, you super don't. But... like I said before, we are going to skip the... well... as you can see, it covers the 5e stuff. And God, this gave me some historic whiplash. So, I used to run Pathfinder 1st Edition. And seeing, like, the race points back again. Because that was from the Advanced Races Guide, I think, from Pathfinder 1st Edition. And just seeing it all back again, it's like, oh wow, I'm so glad they did away with a lot of this. But your full body length is around 18 feet. However, it takes a vast majority of your long serpentine body to maintain balance, allowing you to truly only stand around 5.5 to 6 feet tall. Your size category is medium. So you have just like 13 feet of tail just wiggling out from behind you. Yeah, right. Alright. So, the Pathfinder 2e stuff. So, hit points for the ancestry are 8, medium size 25 feet, constitution and free. Okay. Traits Lamia and humanoid. Cold-blooded. You gain fire resistance equal to half your level, minimum of 1, and you treat environmental heat effects as if they were one step less extreme. However, you also gain weakness to cold equal to half your level, and you treat environmental cold effects as... Okay, so it's a self-balancing thing. I can dig that. Serpentine Body, you've practiced taking advantage of your Serpentine Body. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to acrobatics checks to squeeze. Not sure about the +2 bonus, because this is built into the ancestry itself and not actually a heritage or a feat choice. Long Fangs, you gain a Fangs unarmed attack that deals 1d6 piercing damage and has the agile and finesse traits. That's fine. Whenever you ever use Squeeze. Okay, look, that's a good point. Squeeze doesn't come up too often, so I'll let it slide. A d6 natural piercing attack with agile and finesse. Usually you'll find an agile attack will be 1d4 instead. It's rare that you'll see something like this. Lamia Heritages. Anaconda. Your massive and muscular body makes you perfect for constricting. If you roll a critical failure on an athletics check to grapple, you get a failure instead. Okay. Cobra. You can demoralize by flaring your hood. You are trained in intimidation and gain the intimidating glare. Skill feat is a bonus feat. That's fine. Dusa. Your hair is a group of individual snakes. Whenever you grab or restrain a target with a grapple, you can spend an action to deal piercing damage equal to half your level. Oh, ooh, Cobra is literally just a Arbok. Yeah, no, we know that. Viper, you're born with deadly fangs and a venomous spike. You gain the venomous fangs Lamia ancestry feat as a bonus feat. Okay, that's fine. I kind of hope this deer surfing gets built on in the heritage. Whenever you grab or restrain a target with a grapple, you can spend an action to deal piercing damage equal to half your level. See, I would have that either as a free action or a reaction. Just you grab someone, you automatically do the damage. 5e Lamia feats, we don't care. Pathfinder 2e ancestry feats. Anaconda Heritage, you have a foe grappled or restrained. You deal bludgeoning damage equal to your level to any number of creatures grabbed or restrained by you. Each of these creatures can attempt a basic fortitude save versus your athletics DC. Yeah, okay. Heat sense. Lamia can sense creatures whose bodies are hotter than their surroundings as an imprecise sense at 60 feet. Creatures that produce no heat, such as many undead or constructs, are concealed to the Lamia. I don't know, I've met some undead who are pretty hot. I mean, as are creatures who successfully master their body heat, such as by submerging themselves in cold water. The sense improves to a precise sense at level 9. You can select this feat only at first level. You can't retrain into or out of this feat. That's actually pretty good. I quite like this. Especially with the auto improvement to a precise sense at level 9. Snake tongue. You subconsciously flick your tongue through the air to taste the world around you. You gain imprecise scent with a range of 30 feet. Okay. So hear me out. Grab both. Like, get Ancestral Paragon or whatever it's called for the general feat and just grab both. Can you stake Snake Tongue with the Deuce Heritage? You absolutely can. Can you taste with your hair? Venomous Fangs. You have to be a Cobra or Viper Heritage. When you deal damage with your Fangs unarmed strike, you can spend an additional action to add 1d6 poison damage. This poison damage increases by 1d6 for every 4 levels. That's fine. Whisper, is that you? In this powder whisper immediately. Was that a Jinx moment from you two? Also, I'm pretty sure Whisper is not a Lamia. Shall I zoom out a little bit so we get a better picture of the waifu? 5th level, Coiled Ferocity. You spring into action and make a strike, increasing your reach by 5 feet for that strike. If the weapon has the Disarm, Shove, or Trip trait, you can use the corresponding action instead of a strike. Yeah, that's basically just a lunge. No, because mine was punny. Yeah, okay, I'll get that. Double Coil. For 2 actions, your lengthy body allows you to make 2 grapples, each using your current multiple attack penalty. Both grapples must have different targets who are within 5 feet of each other. Oh, I love that! Archetype level lunge, yeah. 2 actions grappling 2 people. So Titan Wrestler Lamio? Or just wrestler in general, Lamio? Yeah, I'd be down. Combine that with, what was it, Constrict? Yeah. Hypnotic Eyes. Cobra Heritage. Once per day, your unblinking gaze is so intense it can befuddle the minds of others, drawing your victims towards you even against their better judgment. You stare at a creature within 30 feet. The target must attempt a will save against the higher of your class DC or spell DC. Know where the Cobra Hood goes? No? I feel Double Coil is meant to be grab swipe, but it's missing the parts that make swipe lame. Like having it be adjacent? Or within 5 feet of each other. Well, it still have to be adjacent with that language. It's just a different way to put it. Now, you stare at a creature within 30 feet. The target must attempt a will save against the higher of your class DC or spell DC. And like that. Success. The target is unaffected. Failure. On its turn, the target must spend its first action to approach you. It can't delay or take reactions until it has done so. Critical failure, the target must use all its actions on its next turn to approach you. It can't delay or take any reactions until it has reached a space that's adjacent to you or as close to you as possible if it reaches an impassable barrier. So that's basically a once per day command. And they've done well with this. Let's get the proper shot though. Doop. Do like that though, that's a good design. Rattlesnake. You have continuously shed skin on your tail, creating a rattle. If your next action is to demoralize, it is made with a +2 circumstance bonus. Ooh. See, I'd want to give it a bit more spice than that. Shake your ass, Gary. Well, if your next action is demoralize, it is made with a +2 circumstance bonus. See, I'd probably add the intimidating glare caveat in there as well, just to give it a little bit of extra spice. Because this means you're using 2 actions to demoralize. So make it a little bit more worthwhile, I'd probably add the intimidating glare thing and potentially allow you to target more people at once. Like maybe everyone in 30 feet. Venom Spit. You've learned the art of lobbing toxic spittle at vulnerable spots on your foes, especially the eyes. You gain a venomous spit ranged unarmed attack with a range increment of 10 feet that deals 1d4 poison damage. On a critical hit, the target takes persistent poison damage equal to the number of weapon damage dice and is also dazzled until the start of your next turn. Your spit doesn't have a weapon group nor a critical specialization effect. That's fine. Gain a venomous spit ranged unarmed attack with a range increment of 10 feet that deals 1d4 poison damage. On a critical hit, so the idea there is that it would be affected by the hand wraps. Rattlesnake is just an expensive, intimidating prowess for muscles? Yeah. Well, look, I don't want to do too much comparisons, but... What is it, intimidating prowess? Intimidating prowess. In situations where you can physically menace the target, when you coerce or demoralize, you gain a +1 circumstance bonus to your intimidate. Yeah, so at level 5, I would just remove the action requirement. 2 would be about fine, yeah. Level 9, Aquatic Assassin. Much like aquatic pythons, you are trained in the art of aquatic combat. You gain a swim speed equal to your land speed and a +2 circumstance bonus to athletics checks to grapple while in water. That's great. I would potentially have a swim speed type effect at 5th or 1st, and then kind of have this, like do the you have a swim speed equal to half your speed, and then at 9th the full thing. Unless I missed it. I don't think I missed it. No. Torpedo snake monks? Yeah! Nimble Wrestler. Moving while grappling? No problem! If you stride, the grabbed or restrained foe doesn't lose the condition, and instead attempts an escape. And instead attempts an escape as a free action. On a failure, they remain grabbed or restrained and you move up to half your speed. On a critical failure, you move up to your speed. I like that, actually. No, I actually like that a lot. Yeah, okay. Poison Swap. 3 actions. Your teeth absorb a contact or injury poison, consuming the item. The next time you make a successful strike with your fangs, that foe is affected by the absorbed poison instead of taking the attack's normal poison damage. Your fangs can only hold 1 absorbed poison at a time, so absorbing an additional poison nullifies the first poison. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Sinking Fangs. You've bitten your target and you're not letting go. Make a Fangs unarmed strike. If the strike hits, make a grapple attempt at the same map. If successful, the creature remains grabbed until the end of your next turn or until it escapes, whichever comes first. The second line there is probably not necessary because that's kind of how grapple works anyway. Fairy Grabby Wife. Well, I mean, some people like to have a grabby waifu. How do you absorb the contact poison without exposing yourself to it? Well, rules as written, you're still exposed to it. However, I would suggest that rules as intended is that you just automatically absorb it. Like, you're not also exposed to it in the same instance. Because otherwise it would just be whack. Oh god, we love a Saturday morning cartoon throwback. 13th level, Cobra Commander. Cobra Heritage, you carry yourself with the authority of a king. Once per day you can cast Heroism as an occult innate spell and cast it at a range of 20 feet. Before the duration expires, you can use a single action to move the effect of Heroism to another ally. Yeah, okay. And Crushing Constrictor. You have Constrict. A creature that fails the save against your Constrict falls unconscious. And a creature that succeeds is then temporarily immune to falling unconscious from Crushing Constrictor for 1 minute. I feel like instead you could just say that they start to asphyxiate instead of just immediate unconscious, or add an action to it. Oh, it keeps going. Okay, was not expecting. Serpentine Adept. Your grappling martial arts have improved. If you roll a success on an athletics check to grapple, you get a critical success instead. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, I mean, they're rare. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Strong Coils. You never skip tail day and now constrict like an iron vice. If you fail but don't critically fail to grapple a foe you already have grabbed or restrained, they remain grabbed until the start of your next turn. Well, that's good. That's just a goodly. Paralyzing Glare. Here it comes. Dusa Heritage. Your piercing gaze can petrify and paralyze. You stare at a creature within 30 feet. The target must attempt a fortitude save against the higher of your class DC or spell DC. After attempting its save, the target is then temporarily immune to your paralyzing glare until the start of your next turn. Success. The target is unaffected. Failure. Slowed. Failure. The target is paralyzed until the end of its next turn. The failure part at the end. I'm sorry. I keep immediately going to editing. But if I remember right, slowed 1 immediately just comes off the top of your turn and automatically clocks down. So until the end of its next turn, doesn't really apply into it. Level 17, Broken Force. You have a creature grabbed or restrained. Your machine-like coils do not discriminate between flesh and steel, nor do they care. Attempt an athletics check to grapple a creature you have grabbed or restrained, with the following effects instead of the usual effects. If it is already broken, then you deal damage equal to your level to the object and ignore the object's hardness. Choose an item target is carrying or wearing. The item becomes broken regardless of its hardness value, hit points, or broken threshold. 17, I can jive with that. Success, you deal damage equal to half your level to the object and ignore the object's hardness. Yeah, that's fine. Gorgon Gaze. Your magical glare can turn others to stone. If the target critically fails in saving throw against your paralyzing gaze, they are affected by a 6th level Petrify and must make an additional saving throw against its effects using your class DC or spell DC, whichever is higher. And they give it an incapacitation. Beautiful. Oh, I like that. Yeah, okay. No, I like that a lot. Majestic Hood! You flare your glorious hood. Each enemy within 20 feet must attempt a will save versus your class DC. Frightened 1, Frightened 2, Frightened 3. Frightened even on a success. Yeah, okay. And that's to all enemies within 20 feet. Yeah, okay. Venomous Overpump. You have a swapped poison in your fangs and made a successful Venomous Fangs unarmed strike. Once per day, you make sure to pump in every last drop of your Bites Venom. The poison in your fangs instead uses your class or spell DC, whichever is higher. Whoa. 17. Oh, where was it? Incapacitation there makes that feat kind of useless, as it's 6th rank. Any 13th level creature or higher gets an additional success level. A 6th level Petrify as the spell? We got player core open, don't we? Is it still called Petrify on the remaster? I don't know. Petrify, 6th level. Yeah, no, I do see what you're saying there. It's only a 1/1 creature. Yeah, slowed one's not that bad. Paralyzing Gaze is 2 actions though. See, there's a part of me that would just remove the incapacitation and make it its own thing, so to speak. Yeah, no, it is at will actually. Because Paralyzing Gaze doesn't have a limitation on it. Yeah, no, I thought so as well. You're fine. I mean, that's an at-will spell. And the fact that you can use your class DC or your spell DC does open up a lot of options for it as well. Yeah, okay. Alright. Now, we're on to the Nekomata. Nikomata? Domestic cat girls? Yeah, that's technically a thing. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, you better be sure which one you find, because domestic cat girls, you'll more than imply the existence of the feral ones. Yeah, okay. Feral personal names, feral clan names. Yeah, okay, brutal. Brutal. Well, I guess domestic ones would just... Yeah, okay. .5e stuff. 1e. Ooh. Necromancy in most RPG settings is considered an evil act. For the purpose of Nikomata necromancy, we encourage this distinction since it adds to the mystique of Nekomata. For the waifu setting, Nekomata's natural necromancy is a neutral power and could be compared to using solar power energy as opposed to the gas-guzzling semi-trucks of typical necromancers. Okay. The 2e version. 8 hit points, medium size, dexterity, charisma free. Better be a balance in there. Ah, ability flow, there it is. Languages common, that's fine. Low light vision. Alright, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Heritages. Ali, you descend from Nikomata who lived in domestic areas but still have a touch of Ferality? Is that how you pronounce that? You're trained in society and gain the sign language skill feat as a bonus feat. You gain +1 circumstance bonus to society checks to know signs of organizations or secret societies that operate outside the lore. Interesting. Probably be a status bonus though. Domestic. You tend to get away with stuff because you're cute and or lucky. When you critically fail a diplomacy check, you can re-roll the triggering check. This is a fortune effect. Okay, that's pretty cute. Feral! You still retain much of your monstrous heritage and you are able to utilize your ancient natural weapons. You gain a claw unarmed attack that deals 1d4 slashing damage. Your claws are in the brawling group and have the agile, finesse, and unarmed traits. That's pretty straightforward. So are we suggesting that the domestic Nikomata are... Domestic feels like it should be one day, similar to other heritage reroll effects. I would have to look into it a bit more. But it's only on a critically failed diplomacy check. But I guess it's not treating it as a failure instead. It's a full-out reroll. Yeah. Well. See, one of the things I'm already noticing is that like they have a couple of fates for 5e and Pathfinder 1, but they've really dug in deep for the Pathfinder 2 stuff. Because I did a quick check of their YouTube channel earlier today, and I don't think they're actually running a Pathfinder 2 game at all. But looking at the amount of effort they put into, it surprises me that they're not. But first level, Cat Claws. Your claws are honed well. You gain a claw unarmed attack that deals 1d4 slashing damage. Your claws are in the brawling weapon group and have the agile, finesse, and unarmed traits. If you're a feral Nikomata, your claws deal 1d6 slashing damage instead. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Deft Diplomacy. You have a natural connection to the undead. You learn Neckroll and gain +1 circumstance bonus to using diplomacy checks to make an impression with creatures with the undead trait. Nature of the systems, racial feats and 1A were pretty limited in number. It wasn't until after Tashes that 5e got them, I want to say. You're probably absolutely correct, but I'm also kind of just talking to the overall idea of how much work has been put into it. Because what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 first level ancestry feats for a third party product. Now I get that some of these will just be kind of repeats because, you know, keen eye, dark vision, keen smell. But this is still a lot of effort. Feral Meal. It was fresh meat at some point. You can keep yourself fed with poor meals at a settlement, as long as any meat is readily available without using the subsist downtime activity. You can eat and drink things when you are sickened. Ooh, like that's small, but that's also good. Even first party doesn't eat that well often. Right, and also the other thing you'll notice, like this, and with the Lamia one, I don't think we're going to see it, is most ancestries for Pathfinder 2nd edition have, what is it? They'll have ancestry lore and ancestry weapons. So the two feats that work with that. And that's kind of standard for all ancestries. This doesn't have it, but you also don't really miss it. Because they have such flavorful options for your ancestry feats. Keen eye, dark vision, keen smell, imprecise scent for 30 feet. Natural musician, trained in performance. But my dwarf with a shotgun. Wow. But yeah, potions while sickened, that's actually pretty big. Your people used to guide those to the afterlife with music. You can cast summon instrument as an innate occult cantrip. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to performance checks when playing the shamisen. So with the impossible playtest, yeah? Play a Nikomata? A Nikomata Necromancer? Oh god, that rolls off the tongue way too well. A Nikomata Necromancer who summons dead fish. Like cartoon skeleton fish. a necromancer, if you will. I think they make that joke later. Natural necromancy. Your connection with death allows you to preserve life. You may cast Stabilize as an innate primal cantrip. That's pretty standard. Nico Fire Breath. Your necromantic soul allows you to exhale ghost fire. Choose an area within 30 feet. You exhale a powerful burning necro fire in a fireball that explodes in a 10-foot burst. Each creature in the area must attempt a DC reflex saving throw against the higher of your class DC or spell DC, or take 1d4 void damage. You can't use this ability again for 1d4 rounds. Level +2, the damage increases by 1d4. Someone might have to check that for me, but I think that's in line with the old Kobold Breath. Pass as human. Let's actually zoom in a bit. Make it easier for people. Pass as human. Your ears and tails are smaller than normal, granting you a +1 status bonus to deception checks to impersonate a regular humanoid. Twin tails. Reflex. Your twin tails give you 2 chances at acrobatics checks. Re-roll the triggering check and you must take the second result even if it's worse. I mean, it's already tagged with the fortune effect, but I guess it's a reflex and it has to be done in combat. But that means you could use that for tumble through. As a reaction, yeah, you'd have to put a frequency on that. That's a little bit too useful, especially as a reaction. 5th level, climbing cat. You can extend your claws to aid you in climbing. You gain a climb speed of 10 feet. Yeah, that's good. Death the cat. Follows dragon blood breath weapon. There we go. Death the cat. You accept undeath as a friend. Although you are still living, you gain the undead trait and gain basic undead benefits and learn Necroll. Okay. See, what I'm liking with this, and I haven't read the lore for it, but what I'm actually liking with this is that we have the whole concept in Western urban lore that cats have 9 lives. And they're kind of just lucky. This still says that they're lucky, but it's like 9 lives? Nah. We're just filled with necromancy. And here's your necromancy. Your natural necromancy grows as you tap into the innate magic of your people. You may cast Summon Undead once per day as a first rank full spell. At 9th level, you may cast it as a 2nd rank spell. At 13th level, you may cast it as a 3rd rank spell. That's an interesting thing in regards to spells that target living or undead. Also, do you heal off of positive or negative? So the basic undead traits from memory is the stuff like you gain circumstance bonuses against a bunch of stuff. It would have to specifically say you gain void healing or negative energy healing. I do like necromancy. This would be jumping ahead. Negative healing. You are damaged by positive damage and not healed by positive healing effects. You don't take negative damage and are healed by negative effects to the heal undead. You get it. As basic benefits, okay. Ooh. Fun fact, Nikobata are a cat-based yokai, which could work for the undead stuff. Alright. Like in the real world. Oh! Well, there you go. Calming Presence. Your purr can calm those around you. You can cast Calm Emotions as a 2nd level occult innate spell once per day, using purring as your verbal components. That's adorable. The 9 lives curse. You fail or critically fail a recovery check once per day. Your close familiarity with death has gotten you good at avoiding her gaze. Improve your recovery checks by 2 stages. However, when you regain consciousness, you feel death nipping at your heels. Because of this paranoia, you are permanently doomed 1 and frightened 1. You cannot remove these conditions until the next time you do your daily preparations and you apologize to death. Oh, that's amazing! I'm sorry, Pharasma, that I ran away from you. Can you forgive me, please? Pharasma, I'm sorry I spilled your tea onto Aridin's ledger. You forgive me, right? Right? Just give the big blinks. Oh, I love that. White Nico Fire. Your burning necrofire is hard to put out when it inflames your foes. If any target critically fails its save, they take persistent void damage equal to the number of damage dice. Yeah, alright. That's just an improvement on the breath attack. And once again, that's probably just in line with the kobold stuff. 13th level, Death Given Pause. What makes living worthwhile? Death thought a moment. Cats. Cats are nice. Your Nikomata unarmed attacks channel the spiritual energy of your ancestors. Any unarmed attacks you acquire from Nikomata heritages or ancestry feats gain the effects of a ghost touch property rune. That's nice. It makes a lot of sense. I see dead people. Love a pun. Love it. They say when cats look off in the distance, they see the faces of the dead. You have found this to be true! You gain Spirit Sense as an imprecise sense as the feat Soul Sight and learn Necrol. Nekomancy Expert. You have Nekomancy. You learn the Yuri Shoken ritual and may cast it with 1 fewer secondary casters and without expending the material components. You also may cast the Talking Corpse spell you gain from Nekomancy at will. Just generally talk to any corpse you come across. This is fine, right? Misfortune favors the bold. Reaction at 13th level. A foe you can attack with a cantrip critically fails a spell attack roll against you. Your enemy's loss is your opportunity. You cast a cantrip with the attack trait that requires 2 actions or fewer against the triggering foe. Ooh. See, I say yes to this. I would probably put a limiter on it though. It's what I'm seeing with a lot of these actually. Yeah, it's cool, but also 1 a day. I'm just seeing a lot of these that would be like, we'll put a frequency on that. But, oh. A foe you can attack with a cantrip critically fails a spell attack roll against you. Hold up. A foe you can attack with a cantrip critically fails a spell attack roll against... Ah, okay. So when they critically fail against you. So when they critically miss, you can shoot back with a cantrip of your own. See, I'm a little bit more okay with that. Also specifically on a spell. Yeah, no, I'm actually a little bit more okay with it, because I don't think that would come up too often. Yeah. And at 13th level? See, I'm biased. I feel like reaction casting should be more of a thing. But that's just me. Snatched from death. Once per day, a living creature within range would die. Range 60 feet. The triggering creature with your bonds With your bonds with both your friends and death, you prevent the target from dying and restore hit points to the target equal to half your level. So 6 at 13th level. You can't use Snatch from Death if the triggering effect was a Disintegrate or a Death effect. 60 feet reaction? I do like that as a reaction though. Would die. So that would be like death, all 4 gone. A full 13th level feat, maybe. 17th level, Nico Possession, prerequisite Body Borrower. Did I miss something? No, I think I did. Lemon Cat, 9 lives, death. I don't think I missed anything. Okay. The frequency for your Body Borrower general feat increases to 3 times per day. In addition, you can switch between possessed targets as a free action. Additionally, you can have the target forego rolling the saving throw and is treated as having scored a success on the saving throw. As a result, you don't have your body behind, and you don't leave your body behind, and you ride around in the host unable to take any actions except to communicate with the target mentally. So borrowing from Discworld. When communicating in this way, the target also always perceives your words as its own thoughts, so long as they are phrased in such a way as to seem sensible to the creature, and so long as they do not run directly contrary to the target's own thoughts, feelings, or normal behavior. You are expelled immediately should the target realize you are possessing it. A perception check against your deception DC may reveal subtle signs that a target has been possessed, such as face or personality changes. That's pretty powerful. But there's a general feat that builds off of it, so. And I tend to be a little bit more lenient to high level stuff as well. But I think that's it for the Nikomata. Alright, nymphs! God. 1 second, I'm gonna let my cat out. Speaking of my own Nikomata. Alright. Nymphs. Okay. While at Tame in the art department for Nymph when this nurse had her whole sense. What do you mean she had her whole snussy out? Alright. 2 nymph heritage, hit points 8, medium 25 feet. You look at the later, okay. Low light traits, nymph, humanoid, fae. That's pretty standard as well, honestly. Aqua. Beautiful nymphs born of bodies of water. These aquatic nymphs are known to either enthrall sailors with their song and drown them, or to be admired by artistic souls from afar for their beauty. You gain the amphibious trait and have a swim speed of 15 feet. Tenebrae. Okay. Nymphs born of the beauty found in darkness in the underworld. These dark fae are known to guide lost souls. You are trained in stealth and gain a +1 circumstance bonus to stealth checks when in darkness or water. Flora. Nymphs born of trees and flora, known as healers and guardians of nature. You are trained in nature and gain the natural medicine skill feat as a bonus feat. Yeah, that's good. Sora. Sora nymphs are the children of song and the very air itself. They commune with both man and bird by singing both their songs. You gain hummingbird wings as a bonus feat. So each one of these first 4 have like 1 paragraph, and now we have 3 for Terra. These nymphs are born from stone and soil and rumored to be daughters of fiery volcano gods. You are covered in rocky armor that grants you a +1 item bonus to AC and a dex cap of 4+. You are trained in this rocky armor. It does not use your armor or unarmored proficiencies. Starting at 7th level, you can use your unarmored proficiency if it is better. Furthermore, you can inscribe fundamental and property runes directly into your rocky armor. If you do, potency runes increase your rocky armor's item bonus to AC, just as they would normally do for armor. You can also affix a talisman to your rocky armor. If you wear armor of any kind, your fundamental and property runes on your rocky armor... Okay, so this is just all the caveats for it. I would have to check that. A +1 item bonus and a dex cap of +4. That would put it in line with something like leather armor. Usually when you have an ancestry give you a built-in armor, it's usually a medium or heavy option for like a +3 or +4 bonus. So it's interesting that they've gone for the +1, but it makes sense considering what they're going for ideally. The caveat about proficiency is super weird. I would have to check that against current norms, particularly with the Konrasu. I think is the most typical one at the moment, unless the new Ord has something about it as well. Alright, Pathfinder 2e Ancestry Feats. Amorous Distraction. Duration. Until the start of your next turn, for one action, you give a gentle and alluring smile, briefly throwing off your opponent's resolve to hurt you. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to AC until the start of your next turn. If a foe critically misses an attack against you while Amorous Distraction is active, then you can use your reaction to extend its duration until the end of your next turn. Yeah, okay. So that still puts a limiter on it, but it allows you to extend it a little bit further. Konrasu gives you medium armor. So I'm guessing they were going for the light armor equivalent, which I'm actually down for. Not gonna lie. Specific wearing your weapon, exoskeleton rebels the highest armor. Exoskeleton, medium armor, and the plate armor group that grants a +4 item bonus to AC, dex cap of... Ah, I see what they've done. They've just swapped them. His medium armor and the plate armor weapons group, yeah. I think they just... Yeah, I think the caveats about proficiency were just an overabundance of caution. Because I'm not sure when they originally first started writing this. So it might have been pre-Konrasu or in line with Konrasu, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think they just kind of swapped the dex cap and the item bonus. Which, kind of fair. Blinding Beauty! For 3 actions, as a 15-foot emanation once per day, you channel your beauty into an otherworldly attack. Each creature in the area around you must make a will saving throw. On a success, the creature is dazzled for 1 round. The creature is stunned 1, blinded for 1 round, and dazzled for 1 minute. Critical failure, the creature is stunned 3 and blinded for a minute. Holy... Each creature in the area around you must make a will saving throw. I'm guessing it's missed out here, but it's probably supposed to be against the class or spell DC, whichever is higher. And 3 actions is a lot. That's just dizzying colors? Yeah, but it's dizzying colors in a 15-foot emanation that anyone has access to at first level. So, for instance, if a fighter nymph gets surrounded, then they can just drop that. But it does have incapacitation. Okay, so that's... yeah, alright. Yeah, okay, with the incapacitation, that's good to go. It'll be great for handling minions, and minions are the ones who are most likely to fail it anyway. Yeah. City Nymph. Growing up around humans, you are familiar with the cultures of both civilization and nature. You're trained in performance and lore of a city of your choice. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to performance checks whenever you are in a city or you are trained in the lore for that city. For an ancestry feat, I feel that's a little bit unnecessarily restricted. Forest Step. You run through the forest like a fish through water. You gain a +5 circumstance bonus to your land speed and an additional +5 circumstance bonus to speed when calculating land speed for extended traveling within wooded areas. Yeah, alright. A slightly weaker version of Fleet. Links between worlds. You are accustomed to speaking both to nature and mankind. You are trained in society and gain the multilingual skill feat. Yeah, it was skill feat. And it gives you training. Nymph Magic. Your element can be conjured as innate magic. You can cast a certain cantrip as a primal innate cantrip at will. The cantrip depends on your heritage. Spout, Tanglevine, Prestidigitation, Guidance, Scatter. Well, that kind of gives us an idea of when this was written, because if this was written post Rage of Elements, you could just switch in feats from that. And conversely, you could probably look at doing a metal nymph as well. But Hummingbird Wings. You grow wings, allowing you to eventually fly. A strong flap of your wings allows you to travel longer distances when jumping. When leaping horizontally, you move an additional 5 feet. You don't automatically fail your checks to high jump or long jump if you don't stride at least 10 feet. In addition, when you make a long jump, you can jump in a distance up to 10 feet further than your athletics check result, though still with the normal maximum of your speed. Metal Nymph would do a lot of stunning damage. Probably. Song of the Wild. Trained in performance once per day, you sing a song as relaxing as a calming stream. Attempt a performance check, comparing it to the will DC of creatures in a 15-foot emanation around you who are frightened. Oh, so it's like an anti-fear thing. Okay. Alright. Maybe not 3 actions. Fifth level, Alluring Song. Train in performance, 30 feet, 1 creature, 1 hour, once per day. To the target, your song is the most beautiful thing they've ever heard. It must attempt a will save versus your performance DC, with a +4 circumstance bonus if you or your allies recently friended it or used hostile actions against it. Fascination. Like, I get the fascination, because fascinated is the status that's supposed to work for stuff like this. It's just not that great of a condition. That's not in the fault of the writers here, though. Calling to the Night. Tenebrae Heritage. You gain dark vision and +1 circumstance bonus to stealth checks made in dim light or darkness. Alright. Cheeky Mischief. Once per day, you critically hit with a melee strike. You call forth a swarm of angry fairies to quickly help you in battle, dealing additional slashing damage equal to half your level to the target. I just like that. Not worth it once per day, it lasts an hour, but yeah. Nature's Assistance. As a representative of nature, you may cast Summon Animal as an innate spell. Natural Shepherd. You gain the service of a young animal companion that travels with you on your adventures and obeys any simple commands you give it to the best of its abilities. See Animal Companions for more information. Ooh. That's spicy. Ooh, okay. see, now I've got to check something. Apologies, we're supposed to be going through this one at a time. Fave Frolic. Narrowed Nature. Nature's Ambassador. No. Yeah. So Natural Shepherd giving you a young animal companion. The unfortunate part about this is that a lot of feats will not function with it as written. Now, I'm not an asshole, so I would let any of the mature animal feats kind of work and interact with that. But rules as written, they don't. Now, however, I think this is the first instance I've ever seen of an ancestry feat granting an animal companion. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Not that I can think of anyway. And I would remember, I feel, because animal companions are kind of one of my interests of study at the moment. That's... Yeah, familiar lights are fine. You usually get those at first level. I know gnomes get them. Gnomes, Yusuki. And I think just the pet feat as a general feat nowadays. But yeah, just an ancestry feat granting an animal companion is very spicy. I like it, and I would be down. Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm not sure if everyone would agree with me, but sense emotion once per day, Sora heritage. Your natural empathy extends to more than just beasts. With at least 1 minute of conversation with someone, you glean the following information: the target's current attitude towards you, friendly, indifferent, and so on. The target's current and parent emotional state. Oh, well, that's good. That's just kind of a... You get to find out and not just kind of rely on perception stuff. I will also mention now, I haven't checked to see if there's been an update on this book, like another errata, so some of the stuff we are pointing out might already have been addressed. Underworld's Embrace, the Tenebrae heritage. Your home in the Underworld grants you powers of undeath. Although you are still living, you gain the undead trait and gain basic undead benefits. So there's that again. Wings of Wind. Your grown wings allow you to take flight. However, you are slow and maneuver poorly. You fly a distance equal to your land speed. If you don't end your movement on solid ground, you fall at the end of your turn. Three actions. You'd have to really want it, and I get the feeling that it's... Yep, there it is. You have gotten better at flying. When flying using Wings of Wind, you may instead spend 2 actions to fly instead of 3. There we go. Okay. Tree Meld. One with plants. Water Glide. Your swim speed increases to 30 feet. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to performance checks to perform while in water. I like that. Get back to you, wizard. I didn't know you were gone. Just leap rope. In some instances, yeah. Earth Rebirth! You summon the heart of the earth to aid you. The ground around you transforms into difficult terrain. In a 50-foot emanation filled with sharp rocks and hot lava. Any creature that begins their turn in the affected area must make a basic reflex saving throw versus your class or spell DC, whichever is higher, or take piercing damage equal to half your level and fire damage equal to half your level. So 6 and 6, so 12 damage at 13th level. Any allies you designate that begin their turn in the area treat the result of their saving throws 1 step better, so it's just everyone. Oh no, here it is! Elder Shepherd, 13th. As your powers grow, so does your beast partner. Your animal companion grows up, becoming a mature animal companion, which grants it additional capabilities. See the animal companion rules for more information. Your animal companion is better trained than most, and just the usual independent action things. Conceptually, I like this. However, a mature animal companion at the 13th level, I feel like would be so behind. Like, you wouldn't want to use it as a combat companion. Crit meat? Absolutely. Because what? Classes, companions. As someone who had a young at that level, it is rough. Yeah. We'll skip past all this. We'll go to what they actually get a Maturer. Maturer. Increased strength, dexterity, constitution, wisdom modifiers by 1. So it hasn't increased from the young at that point. Increase its proficiency rank for perception and all saving throws to expert. Increase proficiency ranks. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, look. Like, conceptually, I like the idea, but you need something to buff it up a little bit. Because I see what they've done with it. Because where was Natural Shepherd was at 5. See, I wouldn't even drop Elder Shepherd down to 9. Or at least have some way to get it quicker. Wait, for like 3 actions, you are in a forest or woodland area with abundant plant life. Once per day in a 50-foot animation, you begin a dance and the forest joins you in a duet. The ground around you transforms into difficult terrain filled with undergrowth, vines, and other foliage. Any enemy that enters the area must attempt a will save versus your class or spell DC, whichever is higher. Ooh, see, I just looked at the time. Nature's Ambassador. Because we got... which page are we up to? We're up to 38. Oh god, we still... Ooh. We still got another 5 ancestries to go through. Yeah, no, I'm thinking it's definitely multi-week. Like, I have to ask chat. I mean... Oh no, not more content? Well, are people okay if I... So with Christmas at the moment, games are a little bit up in the air. Just with player absences and everything else that happens around this. It does play into how good the book is. Like... We're gonna finish off the nymphs. I'm not sure if I want to continue with the ancestries because I do want to go over the class stuff tonight. Tabletop Obscura reading hours. Well, look, chat. If I do this again, particularly with the Complete Waifu Handbook, are people okay with that? Like, I was doing this kind of as a joke, but this is really good. Like, if I put this down for my players to be able to use, I would probably do spot changes, checks, and fixes as I go. Especially as I would be putting it into Foundry. But overall, the quality of this is solid. Like, I've seen third-party products on Infinite that aren't at this level of quality. Thought it was going to be a bit meme-worthy, but it's rather solid from what I've seen. Yeah! Like, once again, I've seen stuff on Infinite from people who have names in this industry, or at least names in the Pathfinder community, and the imagination, at the very least, that's going into this is kind of knocking them a lot of them. Some of that stuff just right on its head. Like, I know Mata, you sent me the link for this Kickstarter, but has anyone else kind of heard of this? Like, outside of me kind of making jokes about it every now and again? No, just me? Yeah. Like, I haven't seen it crop up in any of the... Like, has it even... Okay. Mostly because I don't want to go into Reddit. Could someone throw, like, a Reddit search and find out if someone's been talking about it in the Pathfinder 2e Reddit? Because this feels really like a missed opportunity for a lot of people. Well, I'm not asking you to do a modder. I'm just asking someone to do it. But thank you. 'Tis appreciated. Malaye? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. 3 actions. You are in Forest Woodland. Okay, my browser history clean, thanks. You know what? Fair. A field of medicinal herbs and soothing or aromatic plants fills the area around you. By harvesting the plants, they function as a healer's tools, and you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to medicine checks to treat wounds, treat poison, and treat disease. Additionally, 5 fruits are grown that can be harvested and restore 1d4 hit points for every 2 levels you have. These fruits wither away 1 day after being harvested. This could be an exploration action. Especially once per week. You could just have that as an exploration action and be fine. In fact, I would say with the remaster approach to healing, you could easily make that a once per day and be fine. A search of waifu on the subreddit does not reveal useful results. Thank you for your sacrifice. But yeah, like, what the hell? This is solid work. Naiad Nights, you give your allies an evening to remember. You and up to 6 other allies can rest together for 8 hours in a body of water large enough to contain you all. You gain temporary hit points equal to the number of allies who rested with you plus your level until your next daily preparations. Any ally who rests with you gains a lock of Naiad's hair, which functions similarly to a matchmaker flu. Maybe they avoid the cesspool that is the PF2. It's possible. Look, and that would be fair. Nature's Ambassador. Depending on your heritage, you gain a +1 circumstance bonus to diplomacy checks when speaking to creatures with a specific trait and can cast a specific spell as a primal innate spell once per day. But you can only ask 1 question. Once again, considering what they've done with class feats, particularly when it comes to speak with animals and plants, because in the remaster, druids can just speak with plants. It's a feat. This probably doesn't need to be 13. And Paizo make this many options for ancestry feats. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of imagination put into this. Narrowed nature. While you are in salt water, in dim light, or darkness, you are invisible. You can suppress or re-establish this invisibility with a single action, which is the concentrate trait. If you suppress it, you glow with phosphorescent light similar to the light spell. See, that's adorable. Though I kind of want to call it acid armor, but that's a oh god, I can't think of it now. Vaporeon reference. Sylph Skywalk. Your wings carry you through the sky as easily as your legs walk you on the earth. You gain a fly speed equal to your land speed. Yeah, that's 13th level. That's absolutely fine. That's when it happens. 17th level, Hoviness. Once per day is a 50-foot emanation. You beseech the earth to harm your foes and not your friends. Any allies you designate that begin their turn in the affected area of Earth Rebirth take no damage and are not affected by the difficult terrain. Okay, so it's an improvement on Earth Rebirth. Lemur. Water is water, and you are a great kami of just that. You are invisible while in water-based fog or rain. Oh god. When this released, that would have been ahead of the curve, actually. Yeah. No, I do agree with that, but still, it's good instincts. Midsummer Dream. The night belongs to you and your friends. You can use Naiad Night once per day. And Naiad Night was... Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, no, Naiad Night. That one. Once per week. Okay, so it's a frequency increaser. I'd probably give it a little bit of extra spice just because it's 17th level. Upstream. No, we're in the Pathfinder category, okay? Okay. Rite of Spring. Your green thumb will allow you to reclaim the land in places it reasonably shouldn't. You can use melee medicine in non-wooded areas. See, that's good. I like that as well. Whims of the Wind. You are more comfortable in the air than on the ground. While flying, you gain a +5 bonus to your fly speed. This bonus increases to +10 when calculating fly speed for extended traveling. It would be better for it would be better for Deaton than the jar. Well, you're not wrong about that. But we haven't seen Deaton in a hot tub yet. Waltz of the Flowers. When you dance, the forest goes with you. You can use Fey Frolic in non-wooded areas. So a lot of these 17th level ones are just kind of increasing where you can use earlier ancestry stuff. Don't summon him. I mean, the tentacles would be seen. Oh, you don't know about that. It doesn't take water to get the tentacles out. This would be our kami? Yes. But yeah, we're only... Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to do more streams of the Complete Waifu Handbook. I'm not stopping here. I am going to take a break so I can kind of redo my coffee and do some ads. The question I have for chat, however, when I come back from the break, I'll actually put up a poll. Yeah, I'll put up a poll while I'm away on the break. But the poll will just basically be, do we want to do more of the ancestries or do we actually want to go into the class stuff? I am a little bit worried that some of the class stuff is just... We'll probably start with the waifu archetype. Let's be honest. But, like I said, we are going to go on a short little break, just so I can run the ads for Twitch and everything else like that. We can keep the pre-rolls away. I might actually retweet, repost in Blue Sky as well, because this is actually really good. Like, no kidding. But we shall be back in, what, 5 to 10 minutes, something like that. I'm probably not going to run the countdown, but we will be running commercials and stuff like that. We hope to see you there. I'm going to assume the ads are done. But we have a little bit of time left in the poll, but that's fine. With only one vote, guess that means we're going to be continuing on the ancestries. But just while the poll is finishing up, these ancestries are chunky. Oh, we got 2 votes for ancestries. Yeah, it looks like we're sticking with ancestries for now. We're not actually going to get to the waifu archetype tonight, I don't think. You sounded disappointed by that? I'm not disappointed, more just kind of surprised, I guess. Yeah. But like, I've tried my hardest not to go, as soon as I have got it in my head to actually do this stream, I haven't actually dived too heavily into this book. I've given it a skim, kind of grabbed the stuff that I wanted from it, but when it came down to it, I was just kind of like, it's split over 3 editions. So Pathfinder 1, D&D 5e, and Pathfinder 2nd edition. I wasn't expecting the amount of work that has gone into the Pathfinder 2 side of things. Like, for real. I was not expecting it whatsoever. Yep, looks like we're continuing with the ancestries. That's fine, though. The Okami. These are our wolf yokai, I guess is the term. No fire, no water, no poison, no explosions. That's fine, I'll fight them with these claws just how I like it. Yeah, I would have expected a 5e heavy thing with Pathfinder being a second fort. Yeah, whereas it kind of feels like the other way around, yeah? At least from the ancestry point of view. But then ancestries / races, when it comes to the other ones, were a lot more bare bones, I guess. Either way, just so we can get through the rest of the ancestries, I will probably skip the more generic ancestry things. I won't read out the entire things, just kind of go through them. Yeah, it feels a little like 5e was included to hit a larger market. See, that's the weird thing though, because like I said, I looked up the Loading Ready crew. Exclamation mark, waifu. Loading Crew Crafts. I looked up their YouTube channel and it's all 5e actual plays, or at least there's 5e actual plays and it's all 5e content. But the same point, it might definitely be a case of using 5e to hit the wider market, and they run Pathfinder 2 and like for home games and stuff. I don't know. I have a lot of questions though. I might actually see if I can reach out to them or something. Either way, the Okami. Wait, no. Blink Dog? Oh no. Blink Dog, Direwolf, Ghost Wolf, Hellhound, Sunwolf, Winterwolf. Do we have heritages for all of these? No. Okami, you get a claw unarmed attack that deals 1d8 slashing damage. Your claws are in the brawling group and had the forceful and unarmed traits. 1d8, no agile, that's fine. I'd probably go d6 with it, upgraded to d8. Yep, nope, there it is. Okami heritages, Blink Dog. You gain the Fey trait and can choose to have your claws attack instead deal 1d4 force damage. Yeah, that's a lot of an innate attack. I'm not sure if... The Minotaur from Howl the Wild. I know it has a horns attack, but that would be probably the biggest one close to it. But yeah, Blink Dog. We have a Blink Dog heritage. Okay. Direwolf, your large size and rough upbringing means you're physically capable than others. You're trained in athletics and gain either the hefty hauler or titan wrestler feat. Oh yes! A choice of the two. I like that. Ghost Wolf, Inugami, your undead connections grant you the ghost dedication feat even though you don't meet its level prerequisites. I'm kind of on the fence about that one. Like, I get that it's a thing through other stuff, but... Hellhound, you gain the Fiend trait and you gain fire resistance equal to half your level. You treat environmental heat, yada yada yada. Sunwolf, you gain the Celestial trait and your claw attacks gain the Holy trait. I want to do a remaster of this so bad. Winterwolf, that'll be the same as our Hellhound, but for cold stuff. Ancient Elf gives you a multi-class dedication of your choice, so it's not unfounded. You're right, and this is very specific, and the Ghost dedication from memory has a lot of advantages and disadvantages built into it to kind of keep it parity and balanced. It's just unusual to see a heritage give a dedication that's not multi-class. It's rare, yeah. And conversely, I would probably give Ghost Wolf the rare trait as well. We don't care about this. Okay. Labs out. Winter winds are out, I guess. Pathfinder 2E ancestry feats. Oh, we're getting straight into it. Breath weapon. Hellhound or Winterwolf, you learn to harness the element in your soul. So yeah, this is the Kobold's Dragon Breath, just for fire or cold. That's cool. Elemental Claws, your claw attack instead deals damage depending on your character's heritage. I'm kinda down. Yeah, okay. So instead of slashing, it does an element for a first level ancestry feat. Oh, okay. Sonic's the winner here, because Sonic's always the winner. But all of these have some pretty common bonuses, I guess, with resistances and weaknesses. Sonic is the one that gets resisted the least, though there are a few creatures who are just outrighting into it. Night Hunter, Dark Vision. Powerful build. You complete your direwolf training. You gain the skill feat you did not choose when selecting the direwolf heritage. Okay. And a +1 circumstance bonus to athletics checks for actions without the attack trait. I'd probably make that a stats check. Force down to Sonic seems like a downgrade. I would agree with that as well, honestly. Because Force is even less resisted. Actually, no, where was it? Blink Dog. You gain the Fate trait and can choose to have your claws instead deal 1d4 force damage. So we would replace... You have the choice between slashing or the force damage. So you can choose between the two. Force on d4s though, yeah. So being able to choose between Sonic or Force, you'd want it to come up. Also, Draxie, how are you? Yeah, I'm not sure. EP? Yeah. Because it'd be super early in the States. This would all be so much simpler by having it be a d6 than writing this all as various trait damage, yeah. That would probably, if I was to go over as an editor for this, that's probably what I would suggest to them as well. Just alternating damage types. I do like this. It's a first level ancestry feat that gives you the other skill feat and a +1 stance bonus to athletics checks. I would make it a status instead of circumstance. That's just me. Hunter's Hearing. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to perception checks that involve hearing and can seek in a 60-foot cone. See, look, I'm a big sucker for niche options that build out things that most people either house rule out or ignore. So I like this, because your seek cone is usually only 30 feet. So a 60-foot cone is massive. Hunter's Scent. You gain an imprecise sense with a range of 30 feet with your nose. You also get a +1 circumstance bonus to survival checks to track when following a scent. Rangers are gonna love that. Direwolf weapon training. Oh, here we go. Because this is the first time we've seen it for an ancestry. Your people use big weapons for big bodies. You are trained with the falchion, great sword, great axe, and great club. Obviously, the remaster padding for that would have all the proficiency stuff. Oh man, no 3D sniffer. Well, we don't know. This is just first level. Okay, here's the Blink Dog stuff that we'll want to see. Blink Dog Heritage, Blink Step. You can briefly flash through the border of the material plane in the realm of Fae. By doing so, you can vanish and reappear in an unoccupied space 10 feet away in a random direction determined by the GM. This movement doesn't trigger reactions. I don't know, for a 5th level feat, I'd probably remove the random direction. Yeah, no, look, that's kind of what I was getting at, because I've rated up a one-action cantrip that does the same thing. But I'm just thinking as an ancestry feat, I'd probably remove the random direction. That's all. Otherwise, that's pretty solid. Get you out of trouble. Bloodhound. You've gained a taste and olfactory for blood. If a target has taken slashing damage, piercing damage, or persistent bleeding damage within the past hour, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to survival checks to track them. Hunter's Scent was this one, so +1, it goes up to +2 with their bleeding. Within the past hour. See, now I'm just thinking an Okami bounty hunter, like Ranger bounty hunter. Pack runner. Moving in a group feels natural to you. When traveling with a group, you gain a +5 status bonus to your speed when calculating travel time. I'd probably give that a bit more spice. Unless you're like armor, I think that would be a pass for most people. Guardian Spirit, Ghost Wolf Heritage. An enemy damages your ally and both are within 15 feet of you. You treat your party like the members of your pack. Their ally gains resistance to all damage against the triggering damage equal to 2 plus your level. So, a slightly weaker champion's resistance. Rallying Sun. Sun Wolf Heritage Okami. 15-foot emanation for 1 minute. You unleash a miniature sun to shine down on allies, shedding bright light within the emanation. This miniature sun lasts for 1 minute and/or until you dispel it. With a fort as a free action. Okay, so dispel is a free action. Love that. It specifies it as well. While in the aura, the first successful strike gains the holy trait and deals additional vitality damage equal to half your level. While in the aura, the first successful strike gains the holy trait. So you do it for 2 actions. Once again, this has been a while since I've checked for an errata or anything like that. I think this might mean per turn? I would say it would be per turn. It's missing text. Yeah, that's what I would say as well. I just saw Great Wolf Grip, we'll get to that. Social Spirit, Ghost Wolf Heritage, your incorporeal nature as an Inugami allows you to derive energy from those around you. For the duration, treat harm and heal spells costing you as if you weren't undead. Aww. Wolf Weapon Carnage, Direwolf Weapon Training. Whenever you critically hit using a falchion's great sword, great axe, or great club, you apply the weapon's critical specialization effect. Yeah, so post remaster, this wouldn't exist. Because the Wolf Weapon Carnage would just get rolled into Direwolf Weapon Training. Level 9, Enervating Breath. Your harsh breath steals the breath from your foes. Any target critically fails its save, they are stunned 1. So that's just an enhancer on breath weapon, I can dig that. Lone Wolf, you are used to striking out on your own. When you're not adjacent to an ally, you get a +1 status bonus to AC and a +5 status bonus to your land speed. Ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. 9th level, +1 status bonus to AC. So you wouldn't be able to get a bonus from bards or a lot of other spell effects, but... Ooh. Yeah, not sure about that one. Pack Fighter. You've learned to coordinate your attacks with your pack. If an enemy is within reach of you and at least 2 of your allies, that enemy is flat-footed against you. Solo frontliner with no support, or White Room is Wet Dream. Isn't their Wet Dream like 3 fighters and a bod? Like, isn't that the White Room people's like favorite thing? If enemies are within reach of you and at least 2 of your allies. Yeah, so that's just a ancestry version for gang up. That requires friends, which they don't have. Welp. Great Wolf Grip. If you're wielding a weapon with the 2-hand trait in one hand, you change the weapon's damage die to the value indicated in the trait. Oh! Oh, okay! Hello! Oh! That's interesting. Alright, back to the core book for a second. How out of pocket is that? Souls-like strength? Well, one of the things that I looked at when I was working on Sinclair's was the a feat to allow you to use one hand to swing a two-handed weapon. Nope, give me the chart. That makes katanas real dangerous. That's what I'm looking at. But it kind of specifies they have to have the two-hand trait and it's 13th level. Like, that's some pretty big power, but 2-hand D8. I'm mostly just checking here. There it is. So that's your bastard D12 bastard sword in one hand. It's 13th level. Great for duelists, bad for two-hand fighter builds. It is bad for two-hand fighter builds because a lot of those things require you to be holding the weapon in two hands, not just for the weapon to be two-handed. Also for sword and board builds, that's a lot of damage. It requires direwolf weapon training, but that's fine. What other weapons have two-hand? Because I know there isn't a one-handed weapon that does D12. Yeah, Bastard Sword's the only one I can... Bastard Sword, the staff. I don't think there's anything else off the top of my head. Two-hand D10. Katana as well. A known hooked hammer. So there's a couple. Deadly D8, two-handed versatile piercing. Okay. So what I would do with Great Wolf Grip is I would probably make it one action. Katana is D10, but that's a D10 one-handed deadly version. Yeah. So what I would do with Great Wolf Grip is I would make it one action and I'd make it a stance. So while you're in this stance, if you're wielding a weapon with the two-hand trait in one hand, you change the weapon's damage die to the value indicated in the trait. Hello, Prometheus VT! We're currently going through the Complete Waifu Handbook. I was intending to get to the class stuff tonight, but with the amount of work and effort they've done into each of the ancestries, we're probably going to get through the ancestries and that's about it. But welcome in. I'm Obscura. I do a lot of Pathfinder 2e content. I was kind of expecting this book to be mostly 5e with Pathfinder 2 tacked on, but it kind of feels like the opposite at this point. Just from a personal perspective. But welcome on in. Elemental weapons. Your weapons gain the effects of the following property runes depending on your heritage. Your weapons. Not specifically claws. A waifu handbook, you say? Absolutely. Like, we're currently going through what the book calls the waifu races, or ancestries for Pathfinder 2nd edition. And we've had Lamia, Nikomata, and nymphs, and we're onto the Akami, which are kind of wolf. Alpha Hunter's Howl. Legendary in intimidation or diplomacy, you become the leader of your pack and gain the Okami Howl action. Okami Howl. You howl, signaling your allies. Designate a single creature with 60 feet as your quarry. You can designate up to 6 non-minion allies as fellow hunters. Each fellow hunter can spend an action as if they had also howled, gaining a +1 stats bonus to attack rolls against the quarry. Thank you for the follow, Prometheus. I will say it looks like I'm going to be doing multiple streams covering this book, because there is just so much in it. Honestly, I might pass this off to Arunia, see if she wants to do the lore for it. Because I know that'd be up her alley. I know she's a Galarian specialist, but jeez. But each fellow hunter can spend an action as if they had also howled, getting a +1 stats bonus to attack rolls against the quarry. So essentially an aid, I guess? You want to see more? Designated quarry once per day. No limitation. Which would kind of go into the whole hunter thing as well. I feel like it should have some sort of duration on it though. Eat your heart out, bud. Yeah, well. 17th level though. At that point, I'm kind of willing to let a lot of stuff slide. The hunt is on. You summon 3 dire wolves to fight alongside you within range. They can leave this range to scout, for example. These wolves have the incorporeal and minion traits. You can issue an order to all 3 wolves using command an animal. You can only manifest 3 wolves at a time. But they're dire wolves. So at 17th level, they're just gonna fold whatever. So you are using them for scouting and that's about it. Alright, now we're up to the Saladin. Once when I was lost, I drew my sword and let it dance within my hand. I watched as the light darted in all directions. After a time, my hand stopped and the light reflecting off my blade pointed to a far-off land in the distance. I followed it for days and came to an oasis where I could resupply. I never doubted for a moment I would be safe. The sun has never led our people astray. So these are desert elves, or at least that's the idea and concept behind them. As previously said, I'm not going to go into too much detail with their like lore and stuff like that. I will leave that to people who get the books for themselves. I'm sorry, spell rage? Oh, see, but that's cool detail. Iblis trigger? It's no use? I don't get it. Sorry. Alright, 2E ancestry. 8 hit points, medium, 25 feet. Oh, so they're slow for elves then. Suck it, elf enjoyers. Low light vision. You can see in dim light as though it were bright light, so ignore the concealed condition due to dim light. I get the feeling the second full stop on there is not supposed to be there. Open eyes. Requirement. You aren't fatigued or raging. Once per day while you can see through your eyelids. Sorry, once per day while you can see through your eyelids, opening your eyes as a sand elf reveals your irises and grants you special powers depending on your heritage for 1 minute. Okay. Elves advantage. What? Blue hair. While open eyes is active, you cast a cantrip during it. If the cantrip deals damage and doesn't have a duration, then that spell deals additional damage equal to half your level. Ooh. What do they have to do this? It's just a concentrate action. 1 minute. So maximum 10 or 20, but that's not bad, actually. Red hair. Sorcerer's potency, but for cantrips? I think so, because it specifies cantrips as well. Your blood pumps when open eyes is active. You deal additional damage with melee strikes equal to half your level of the duration. This additional damage is halved again if your weapon or unarmed attack is agile. Yeah, okay. That's a... How often can you do this? Once per day. Okay, can we get the like frequency in there? So it's kind of a rage state once per day, either for casting or for damage. I like that built into an ancestry. Not gonna lie. That. Pathfinder 2E ancestry feats. Purple hair, Saladin does not care. Okay. Basic sand soldier training. Your mandatory military training is complete. You are trained with daggers, scimitars, short bows, and light crossbows. Flesh of dust. The heat never buffs you. Alright. You gain fire resistance equal to half your level. That's good. Your magical mutation is awakened. You gain a +1 status bonus to fortitude saving throws against magical effects. See, there's a part of me who would want to consider giving that to will and reflex as well. Sandstorm resistance. Your eyes are focused and hardy due to overexposure to rough conditions. You gain +2 circumstance bonus to saves that would impose the blinding condition. Additionally, when you are in a sandstorm, you take half the normal slashing damage and you don't need to hold your breath to avoid suffocation. This second half is pretty niche, but good, because there are effects that cause sandstorm. There's a couple of elementals, and I know a couple of fiends that can cause sandstorms. But circumstance bonus versus blinding condition, that's nice. Drake, yeah. Sandstrider, your speed increases by 5 feet, so there's your elf feet. When calculating your travel speed, there's a lot of travel speed stuff. I'm wondering if they've got mechanics built into here for adventures using this book that deals a lot with overland travel. Well, Desert Drake, not Wii Shop Link. Scarcity Survivor, you are accustomed to the pangs of hunger and have learned to reject its call. You can go for 2 weeks without needing to consume rations or water, even in desert-like conditions. Additionally, whenever you consume a special meal and the meal preparation was a critical failure, you treat it as a failure instead. 2 weeks without food or water. Like, this would rarely come up in most games. But I'm just imagining someone being like, going for an entire adventure, like a 3-level adventure, and be like, yeah, I haven't eaten. I would very much like to eat now, thanks. Just rocking up to the party being like, thanks everyone, now I get to eat. Thankful meal. Knowing the preciousness of food has taught you gratitude. Whenever you consume a special meal, you always gain the favored meal bonus regardless of your actual favorite meal. I know this book has mechanics for giving NPCs or players their like favorite meal. I haven't had a chance to look into it yet though. 5th level, Flesh of Stone. You gain either bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing resistance equal to half your level. That's just good. Yeah, I can dig that. Elite Sand Soldier training. Once you also in the Sandstorm Soldier Sleep schedule activity, so they have a camping subsystem in here as well. I might have to have a look at that. But yeah, Elite Sand Soldier training, that would just get tied up into the Sand Soldier training from the start. As is the thing for the remaster. 9th level, Blue Blood. You have blue hair. Your enhanced magical blood, along with elite training, has granted you powers beyond the normal Sand Elf. You gain the Sorcerer Dedication feat as a bonus feat even if you don't meet its prerequisites. If you are already a Sorcerer, you instead gain a Sorcerer feat equal to half your level. The pre-master get cross-group group legendary weapons? Yeah, look, I know. And there is a part of me that feels like there should be an ancestry feat that allows you to get the legendary with your ancestral weapons. Like, even if it's at the 17th point. But, once again, that's a personal thing. Red Blood. You have red hair. The might of warrior is within your blood. You gain the fighter dedication feat as a bonus feat even if you don't meet its prerequisites. If you're already a fighter, you instead gain a fighter feat equal to half your level. What's the other ones? Okay, so Sand Wraith is the other one. You become one with the sands, gaining the ability to move through sandy terrain without impediment. In sandy or desert environments, you gain a plus 10-foot status bonus to all your movement speeds and can move through non-magical difficult terrain made of sand without penalty. Additionally, once per day, you can declare yourself as becoming invisible as per the spell Invisibility, but only while in sandy or desert terrain. So if you're not in a desert environment, you're picking whichever one of these you have. Honestly, looking at it, I would probably have a 4th to 9th level feat. That kind of covers something a little bit more generic. Just to kind of cover those people who are playing a Sand Elf and don't particularly want to either sorcerer or fighter and are not in a desert. Purple hair, here we go. The magical mutations affecting the Sand Elf race have blended your heritage. You gain the heritage abilities of both blue-haired and red-haired Saladin. So, we're gonna have a, Magus, right? Like, that's perfect purple hair Magus. Let's go. Eyes wide open, your eyes are accustomed to strain and overuse. You may use open eyes at will. There it goes. 17th level, Sands of Time. The magic of the Saladin Sacred Treasure fills you. You are quickened 1 for a single turn. You can do this once per hour. You may only use this extra action to open eyes or reduce the casting time of a 2-action spell by 1. At 17th, that's actually really good. 2 Thrones, purple hair. You can cast a cantrip with the attack trait. Once per hour, you successfully strike a target. You are perfectly balanced in all things. You additionally affect the target with a cantrip with the attack trait that you can cast the target's one creature. The degree of success is the same as your strike and counts towards your multiple attack penalty. There's a built-in Magus feat. And they put the red trait on it. We appreciate that. Wow. Warrior Within, red hair heritage, once per hour. What do we have with 3? Yeah, okay. With your rage comes swiftness. You are quickened 1 for a single turn. You may only use this extra action to open eyes, stride, or strike. Also like that. Notes from Stuart. There are more sand elves that exist within Zeros called glass elves. Glass elves are sand elves infused with mythic power and are separated between crystal and obsidian forms. I'm sorry? They will be explored in the Mythic Waifu Handbook coming soon. Mythic Waifu... I might have to, like, get in contact with these people. But surely they'd already be working on it. Regardless, I think that's it for the Sand Elves. I'm actually surprised. I thought they would have more feats compared to what we saw for some of the other ones. Alright, next waifu. Shen Ryojin. Tell me, do you look forward to or dread the day you'll leave this world? Personally, I can't stop thinking about that sad day. I will have to part with all my friends. The thought of saying goodbye to you is especially sad. No. Sorry, Daphne. Oh, feathered worms, okay. Dragonstone? Alright. 8 medium. I'm seeing the hit points, size, and feet repeated a lot. I will say there is a kind of a temptation to go for that a lot. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more variety, but I get why they haven't. Ability boost, wisdom, and free. No ability flaws, that's fine. I've been looking to make a romance-orientated one-shot, so I bought a copy. I haven't had a chance to go into it, but there is a lot of like romance and like dating stuff and the stuff you would expect wrapped into the waifu. But yeah, actually I will drop the link again for other people. There we go. But yeah, if you do, this is not sponsored. Once again, I got this because I got it for the Kickstarter. But if you do end up getting the PDF, just tell them I sent you. Because I wouldn't mind getting on their radar. I'd love to ask some questions. Maybe give them a hand with doing a remaster version. That'd be nice. Anyway. Traits. Shin, Ryojin, Dragon, Humanoid. They're rare. Good. More of a formatting thing than anything else. Rare should be separate. Dark vision, that's fine. It's whatever. Dragonstone. When you are born or created, you are gifted a mystical orb or stone called a Dragonstone. This stone can be used as a spellcasting focus and has a light bulk. There may come a time in your life where you lose your Dragonstone. If your Dragonstone is not in your person, you may take another gifted to you or looted from a slain Shinryujin. You may change your heritage by attuning your soul to the new Dragonstone. Doing so takes 10 days to perform safely. However, in some times of dire need, you can do this process forcefully in 1 hour, but will consequently suffer level being drained 2. This drain is reduced by 1 for every 9 levels you have. Okay. That's pretty... I'm guessing the heritages will have... There we go! Choose one of the following heritages at first level. Artifice Dragonstone. Your Dragonstone is capable of item creation, eventually even powerful artifacts. You're trained in crafting and gain the specialty crafting feat. Oh, I'm such a sucker for that. Oh, I like that. Are we gonna have like more crafting stuff? Whoa, okay. Discarded Dragonstone. Perhaps you wish to be more human or something terrible happened to you to wish to abandon your mission and make your own way in the world. For whatever reason, you've discarded your Dragonstone. You gain the Adopted Ancestry General feat. If you retrain your heritage from discarded Dragonstone into another, you must retrain all ancestry feats gained for Adopted Ancestry. See, there's a storyline built into there right there. Like, just the regret of having it thrown away and having to want to get it back. Magical Dragonstone. Your divine magic manifests as a simple divine spell, even if you aren't formally trained in magic. You can cast Divine Lance as a divine innate spell. In addition, you gain +1 circumstance bonus to identify magic and to decipher writing if the magic or writing is divine in nature. That's just good. I can dig it. Considering the wording of it, I know they're going for a divine feel with it, but there is a part of me who would suggest maybe arcane or primal, but I'm not sure. I think I would have to read into the lore a bit more, because that might be the reason for it. Sensory Dragonstone. Your Dragonstone specializes in divining the truth. You can use a single action to close your eyes, giving yourself the blinded condition. When you do, you gain life sense as an imprecise sense with a range of 15 feet. That's trippy and cool. I like that. This allows you to sense the life force within living creatures and its counterforce that animates the undead, though you can't distinguish between the two. At level 5 and every 4 levels thereafter, your life sensing range increases by 5 feet. Gotta call it now, there's gonna be a feat that allows you to be able to distinguish them. But the life sense thing was first introduced, if I remember right, in Knights of Lost Wool. And having another way to get it that's not tied in with the Lost Wool is actually really cool. I like it. Summoning Dragonstone. Your Dragonstone is capable of creating astral constructs. You create a spiritual copy of a friend or ally and bind them to your Dragonstone. Once per day, you can cast Unseen Servant as an innate arcane spell. Except the servant is visible and has the appearance of the chosen friend or ally. That would just be weird. Not gonna lie. Made a servant version of you. That's the feats. You can skip all that. Pathfinder 2 Ancestry feats. Draconic Awakening. As a part of your body has an obvious draconic appearance, your hands end in razor-sharp claws, you have wings spreading from your back that don't grant flight, sharp teeth fill your mouth, or a strong tail that extends from your spine. You gain your choice of one of the following unarmed attacks. The attack is in the brawling group and has the listed damage. D4, D4, D6, D6. Probably remove the finesse from those, but that's more a choice than anything else. Dragon Eyes. You gain dark vision, you keep the benefits of this feat even if you change Dragonstones. Yeah, okay. Long Traveler, you travel often and are not afraid of roughing it. You're trained in survival and nature. In addition, you gain yeah, I'm seeing a lot of travel speed stuff. There's a part of me that wants to kind of read ahead in my own time and see whether they've got a lot of stuff to do with overland speeds. Innately likable. People like to please you and often grant you small favors. You gain a +1 bonus to diplomacy checks to make an impression or request things of creatures with the humanoid trait if the conversation or request involves protecting you. Yeah, okay. Shinryo-jin lore. You're trained in religion, dragon lore, and celestial lore. Yeah, I mean that's pretty standard for a lore feat. Settled down. There was a time when you made your home among a village. You're trained in society and lore of a specific settlement. Aww. 5th level, Ancient Memories. You are at least 100 years old. Your long life has granted you certain wisdoms. Choose one skill you are trained, you become an expert at that skill, and you may use your wisdom modifier instead of the skill's normal key ability. Ooh, this proficiency lasts until you prepare again. Since this proficiency is temporary, you can't use it as a prerequisite for a skill increase or a permanent character option like a feat. That needs a frequency on it. But I like the idea behind it. Wisdom for athletics, though. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Budding Creator. Artisan Stone Heritage, you're an expert in crafting. You gain the magical crafting feat. In addition, you can reverse engineer formulas of magical items in half the normal time. Love it! Give me more crafters. Runesmith Ryojin. Shin Ryojin. Let's go. Dragon etiquette. Dragons have their own way of handling things. You gain a +1 circumstance. Oh, just... yeah, that needs a typing on it. You get a +1 bonus to diplomacy checks to make an impression or request things of creatures with the dragon trait, as well as a +1 bonus to intimidation checks to chorus creatures with the dragon trait. Circumstances status, but that's fine. I'm noticing a couple of little niggling, like, editorial things, but I've been here, like I've been there before where I've just missed 1 or 2 words in the thing. So I'm not giving them hell for it. And as I've said a couple of times, I haven't checked to see if there's been a more recent errata that fixes any of this. Heaven's Words. Using your Dragonstone, you can cast Augury as an innate divine 2nd level spell once per day. Yeah, that's fine. Since Dragon Magic, you learn a detect magic cantrip. In addition to its effects, you can determine if the magic originated from a dragon or a creature with the dragon trait. You could probably change this to... oh, where is it? Yeah. You could probably change that to you gain the arcane sense. Yeah, you could probably change that to be you attain the arcane sense skill feat, regardless of the tradition you're trained in. And that would just, and then have this caveat in here built into it. That's fine. Summon Friends. You may cast Persistent Servant as a 2nd level arcane innate spell once per day, but the only task they can perform is conversation and offer advice drawn from the memories of your chosen friend or ally. Oh no! Okay. You're alright. If you outlived you... oh no. See, the sad thing I would do with this is... the friend is someone you knew and they passed on. Like, the suggestion here for the Shinryojin is that they live to be very long. So just being like your spiritual servant, whatever it is a friend or ally you had and they just passed on. Oh, that's sad, but I also love it. Divine Creator. You must be Artifice Dragonstone Heritage and Mastering Crafting. You gain the Impeccable Crafting feat. In addition, you can have any item you craft be able to shed light as the light cantrip by activating with a single interact action. That's just a nice little touch. I can dig that. Dragonstone Master. You possess 2 different Dragonstones. If you use the special rules to change or forcibly change your Dragonstone Heritage, you may do so in 30 minutes instead of an hour, treating your level as 9 levels higher. In addition, you may instantly retain any feats with your previous heritage as the prerequisite to different feats for your new heritage of the same level. If you do not have the necessary skills or skill feats, you may retrain those as well. That's good. It's a little bit complicated, but I understand why it's like that. But I like it. Since Dragonkind, using your Dragonstone as a scrying orb, you can detect the presence or absence of any creatures with the dragon trait within 1 mile. So I don't think that includes kobolds anymore. Oh no. And whether or not those detected creatures are holy or unholy. Additionally, you can determine the level of any detected dragons if your level matches or exceeds them. See, that's also kind of... So even a month ago, I would suggest giving players this kind of meta knowledge for free would be out of band. But with the Necromancer from the Impossible playtest, their life sense class feat just allows you to find out how much hit points a creature has. And that's more useful knowledge than what level they are. Summon Emblem. You may cast Summon Construct as a 3rd level arcane innate spell once per day, but you may only summon an animated armor. This summon has the appearance of a chosen friend or ally. It's Princess Zelda! Oh, and Mater's gone to bed as well. Heaven's Whisper. By pouring magic from your Dragonstone, you can cast Show the Way as an innate divine thread level spell once per day. Yeah. Great Artifact. 13th. You've reached the peak of Dragonstone crafting. Choose an item to craft without the consumable trait. On success, that item gains the artifact trait. You may only create one artifact at a time. If you want to create a different artifact, you must use your current artifact in the creation process for the new one, destroying the old one. That's it? I mean, what is the artifact here? Sorry, bear with me a second. I have a question. Artifacts. Yeah, I kind of just want to see the trait. Doesn't really give much in the way of information. Okay, items with this trait are artifacts. These magic items can't be crafted by normal means, and they can't be damaged by normal means. Artifacts are always rare or unique. So it would just be an item that's immune to damage. Which, considering how rare it is, like even just damaged items generally, that's fine. Dragon Speaker. By focusing with your Dragonstone, you can cast Sending as a 5th level arcane innate spell. Heaven's Voice. You can read omens, summon hero. So just an improvement on that one. No more holding back. Free action. Divine Worm dedication once per day. So there's a dedication I'm missing. That would be an archetype that's further down. You can finally unleash your full power. You gain an effect based on your Dragonstone. Artifice Stone. You manifest a single item of your level or lower that only lasts during your transformation. Yeah, okay. Magic Stone. You can cast one of the following rank 7 divine spells during your transformation. Deity Strike, Breath of Life, Banishment. Okay. Your life sense becomes precise and extends to a range of 25 feet. You know the exact hit points, maximum hit points, and level of every creature you can see within this life sense. How long does this last? I'm guessing there would be something built into the Divine Worm dedication. Summoning Stone, summon Celestial, summon Axioma, or summon Anarch. Yeah, okay. Oh, hello. Wait, are we getting an archetype built into it? Oh, we are too. Nice. Here it is. Okay. Pathfinder 2E Divine Worm dedication. The feat 2 should be brought up to here with the dedication because that's an activity, not a feat. That's fine though. You call upon divine energy to transform yourself into a draconic battle form. You gain the worm transformation action. So, while you're in that, you gain that. Gotcha. What's the prerequisites? None. Well, I guess it makes sense. Requirements, you have a dragon. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is... No. That's not quite how it works, but okay, let's keep going. You begin the journey of tapping into your ancestry's power. You gain the following statistics and abilities. Armor class, 15 plus your level. This is all pretty standard. Breath weapon, Bust of Fame, 44. That. Speed, Featherfall, okay. This is a once per day thing. Yep, goes for 1 minute. Increase your worm transformation's effective strength score by 1 as an additional damage die to all strikes. So this is interesting. Okay. So this is a feat that grants you a battle form, but you can only really improve the battle form by picking up the feats from the archetype. That's... oh, I like that. That's clever. No auto-scaling means you have to continue to invest in the archetype. I'm not sure whether people would take this if they didn't have free archetype. But speaking as a GM, if a player came to me and said, hey, can I has this? I would be like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Divine Brawler. Add an additional damage die to all strikes, that's fine at level 4. This would be painful to do up in Foundry though. Divine Breath increases your breath weapon's damage die increases by 1. The die size, so it would go from D4 to D6s, and then you deal an additional die of fire damage. Alright. You may select this feat multiple times, selecting a different oh, okay. You choose one. Cool. Okay. While in Worm Transformation, you do not gain the Catching Wings ability, instead gain a flight speed of 15. I do love to see an auto-leveling one. Divine Form. As you grow in power, you materialize small portions of your true form. You gain the Draconic Awakening Ancestry feat, and you get an additional unarmed attack listed in the feat for every Divine Worm archetype feat you have. Divine Presence. While in Worm Transformation, your size increases by 1 step. You must have enough space to expand into, or the ability is lost. 10, 16. 16 as well. That means what? Large, huge, gargantuan? 16 plus your level, that's a 15, so it's a +1 bonus. You may select this feat to get in certain levels, granting 10 additional hit points and a new AC listed below. Yeah, once again, this is... I like what they've done with it. I would like to see some of these auto level a little bit, because without free archetype, I don't think anyone would pick this. Unless they really wanted to lean hard into it. I guess you could go with a caster and do some really cool stuff with it, but... Divine Resonance. Increase the frequency of your worm transformation to once per hour. Hell yeah. Divine Scrapper. You learn to harness even greater physical powers, increase the effective strength score of your worm transformation by 1, and add another damage die to all strikes. Divine Speed. You may use Worm Transformation as a single action instead of 2. Hell yeah! And I'm noticing it jumps from 10 to 14, so they're leaving gaps in to pick the other ones. That's really good. Well, if you're busted, well, if you're picking up all the feats as they come, that's once per hour, a 1-action transformation. And the transformation's not really great. Like, it's good, but it's not overly fantastic. I will say, however, G Wizard, you are the expert when it comes to beast transformations. Thanks to Kolgar. Because I know the druid can do their bestial transformations as a focus point thing. But do they ever gain some way to reduce it to a single action? You can pre-buff with a spell and then transform? Okay. Would be around 14 as well. Sorry for the quick scrolling. Well, reactive transformation of 14th. There's no consolidation? Okay. Specialized, timeless nature, verdant metamorphosis. Yeah, no. Maybe once per day. That would be fine, I think. Once per day, you can do it for 1 instead of 2. Additional strength. The frequency of your worm transformation increases to at will instead of once per day at level 18, if you pick up that feat. But that's fine. At the point when you're kind of doing it once every hour, it's pretty much once per combat anyway, if you so choose to. I will say, that's pretty great. Like, the style is very good. Yurei. I think that's pronounced right. Oh, they're ghosts. Okay. So they're corporeal spirits of a once living person. So, quick throwback. But Steampunk OGL had a race option that was called Ghost. But the idea of the Ghost one is that if your character died as a part of play, and you weren't really ready to let them go, the Ghost race was there, so you could just kind of switch out your current race for the Ghost one. And the idea is that the rest of the players would be, and yourself would be able to go on some sort of thing to bring you back to life. But Ghost Mommy, I guess. Till death do us part is a tired and boring tradition. True love transcends the bounds of morality. Sorry, mortality. We'll be together. Always. Always. Kashari, the lewd librarian. Oh, this is gonna be a ride, isn't it? This is gonna be a fucking ride. Yep, here it is. Alright. Hit points 8, medium or small, 25 feet. Common, necral, additional languages. Traits, that's fine. Even in death, you gain the Ghost Dedication feat even though you don't meet its level prerequisite. However, your bound site can be an object, person, or small group of people instead of a place. Look, I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna butcher some of these. I'm probably just gonna go for the bracketed ones. Sea Ghost. The ghosts of those that died at sea. They sometimes have fish-like traits. Because you were a sailor in life, you gain a swim speed of 20 feet. A gas spirit. Floating gaseous spirits. Like Ghastly. Believed to cause and spread diseases. Died from a plague of some kind. When leaping horizontally, you move an additional 5 feet. If you don't automatically fail your checks to high jump or long jump, if you don't stride at least 10 feet first. In addition, when you make a long jump, you can jump a distance up to 10 feet further than your athletics check result, though still with the normal maximum of your speed. Yeah, I got, yeah. Soul, object bound. A spirit that died before old age, leaving behind a widowed lover. Once per day while you are within 60 feet of your bound site. If you fail a skill check or a saving throw, you can re-roll the triggering check, but you must use the new result, even if it's worse than your first roll. This is a fortune effect. Yeah, okay. Soul, object bound. Yeah, I mean, they do specify that you can attach it to people. So that would be interesting. A vengeful spirit. An Onryo is a vengeful spirit who returned from purgatory to hunt those that wronged them. They are often murdered by their own families. Okay, because of your dark outlook, you gain dark vision. Yay! I'm sorry, what? Ubume? Dead mom ghost. Is a mother? Oh god. The ghost returns to take care of her children, and they often bring sweets. You are trained in crafting and cooking lore and gain seasoned feat. Oh, that's tragic. Snow Spirit, a mysterious tribe of mostly female Yari from frozen regions. These spirits are known for their odd ability to drain warmth from others. On rare occasions, these spirits seek partners and will use their heat absorption abilities to protect their companions. You have cold resistance equal to half your level, and the usual things for environments. Zashi Warashi? A ghost kid. These Yuri died as a child. They often do not understand what happened or that they are dead. Your size changes to small and you may cast Prestidigitation as a name or cold cantrip. Side ponytail not included? Never included. That's some built-in tragedy right there, but ghosts. I was like, hey, weird, how you doing? Notes from Stuart. I'm interested in this one. It would be inaccurate to call Yurei a race or ancestry since they belong to a race in life and their transformation into a Yurei is a state of living. Working on my food framing? Ah, yes. The racial stat blocks are for the sake of convenience rather than game mechanics reflecting the lore of how they work. If you want, you can use the following template changes to your character instead. Alright, awesome. Versatile heritage, let's go. You've become a Yurei, meaning you died and weren't ready to leave your friends and family. Maybe you were brought back against your will by an evil necromancer. This is also a possibility that you are being pranked by a very mischievous Nikomata. Whatever the case, you gain the Ghost Dedication feat, even though you don't meet its level prerequisite. However, your bound site could be an object, person, or a small group of people instead of a place. You can choose from Yurei feats and feats from your ancestry whenever you gain an ancestry feat. That's what I like to see. Because this means that, once again, if you have a player whose character died and they're like, I'm not really ready to let go of them, they can pick up the versatile heritage instead. And you can work on something from there. Now, I know technically you could do it with the Ghost Dedication feat, but people can attach their class feats, which, fair enough. Yurei heritage, you picked up that something caused your death and now that you're Yurei, you're burdened and blessed with their innate abilities. Okay, so just choose heritage. Gotcha. That's the 1E stuff. 2E ancestry feats. A bad feeling. You emanate an aura of unease. All foes within a 5-foot emanation suffer -1 circumstance penalties, saving throws of effects that have the fear trait. Within 5 feet, so adjacent to you. Yeah, okay. Aloof drifting. You are quite literally an event. When you get a critical failure against an effect with the emotion trait, you get a failure instead. Alright, yeah, okay. That's just fun. Your bound locations is precious to you and you will not let anyone threaten it. Whenever a humanoid enters within 20 feet of your bound site, you are made aware. You do not know who entered, how many entered, or where they are exactly, but you know that at least one humanoid did. Now, it's previously established up ahead that you can have it as an object or a person. So you can just know when people come close to, you know, someone else. Calming spirit. You are always the voice of reason. You are trained in diplomacy and gain the no cause for alarm skill feat. When you use no cause for alarm, the emanation is 15 feet instead of 10. Cold aura. Creatures within 5 feet of you treat environmental heat effects. That's just good. Connection to the past, adopted ancestry. Contagious. Your sickly nature manifests. You can control it a little. During your daily preparations, choose acid splash or puff of poison. Until your next daily preparations, you can cast this cantrip as a primal innate spell at will. Most people, I think, would just pick one of the two and be done with it. Don't share my fate. Filled with a surge of compassion, you attempt to spare someone from what you've suffered. You can lock lips with another creature that cannot breathe underwater, giving them breathable air. While you both are in this state, they're grabbed and you are flat-footed. So that's saving someone's life when they're underwater, because I believe that's the water one. Grudge. 2 actions. A creature has wronged you in a meaningful way, such as hurting you or a loved one. Your heart beats again in fury. You declare a creature your grudge. You gain a +5 circumstance bonus to your movement speed when you move towards your grudge, and you gain a +1 circumstance bonus to seek that creature if they become concealed, undetected, or hidden to you. You may only have 1 grudge at a time. Oh god, okay. Parental instinct. Your maternal instincts are strong even in death, granting you the ability to protect and care for those in need. You are trained in medicine. If you boundside as a person and you treat wounds on them, you may kiss their injuries, which acts as a healer's tools and grants you a +1 circumstance bonus to the check. Aww. Prankster spirit. It's so great that you have all this time to play the pranks you never got to when you were alive. During your daily preparations, choose Telekinetic Hand, Projectile, or Figment. Until your next daily preparations, you can cast this cantrip as an occult and aid spell at will. This is great. Telekinetic Hand, I think, would be skipped by most people. Telekinetic Projectile, however, is a solid attack spell, and Figment is a illusionary cantrip that you can do some very interesting things with. Rest without peace. Even the undead must rest. When you rest, you are invisible. However, if a creature is 5 feet away from you, they feel your presence and can make a perception check with a DC equal to your class DC check to seek and reveal your presence. I kind of like that. Yeah, okay. Salt water spray. Water fills your lungs. Sprout as a cantrip. Spout, I should say. Spectral Wrath. Your wrathful spirit fuels your attacks, causing them to deal extra damage to your enemies. You gain a +1 status bonus to damage rolls for all strikes. 1, 5, 11. I mean, that's not too bad. I don't think it'd be out of bracket. 5th level, Beware the Depths. The sea was always your home. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to stealth checks to hide and sneak while in water. See, where was this during Hoist the Colors? Cold Comfort. Reaction. An ally within your corridor is about to take fire damage. Your ally gains fire resistance equal to your level until the start of your next turn. See, that's good. Because that's 5 when you first get it and it continues to increase. Cold Embrace. Range touch, 1 creature, fortitude varies. You embrace the target, stripping them of their warmth. The target is unaffected. The target takes cold damage equal to half your level. The target takes cold damage equal to your level and is enfeebled for 1 round. I feel like you could probably, for 3 actions, touch in just 1 creature. You could probably switch that to damage dice without much of an issue. Like even just D4s or something like that. Eerie Whisper. You are quite spooky and can frighten people easily. Attempt an intimidate check to coerce or demoralize. This check has a +1 circumstance bonus, and you ignore the penalty for not sharing a whisper, or not sharing a language. Sorry, I was thinking of whisper. Your words are directly transferred to the target's ears and can only be heard by them. Oh god. Okay. And in contrast, nurturing words. Your gentle words can soothe the wounded and restore their strength, allowing them to heal more quickly. You may cast Soothe as a 1st level occult spell once per day. That's fine. Sweet Treats. Good Berry is a focus spell, but it's berry-sized treats instead. That's fine. Toy Box. You remember having a toy box when you were alive and can manifest it. You gain the Prescient Planner general feat, and you do not have a bulk limit since you pull them out of an extra dimensional toy box. Oh, I like that. Wandering Spirit. Your airy nature makes it easy to move. You gain a 15-foot status bonus to your speed when traveling. A lot of traveling stuff. Ooh, nice class there, Senpai. Thank you, Grogan. Who dares? Your bound side is a person and they receive damage from a foe. It's a reflex action once per day. Your countenance becomes frightening as you search for the fool who dared harm your love. Seek the source of the damage, even if the target is not undetected or hidden. If the target is not undetected or hidden, this check is made with a +4 circumstance bonus. At the following 2 degrees of success for your check, the foe becomes frightened 2, the foe becomes frightened 1. An interaction with the seek action. I like that. And this is not a class, this is a ancestry for Pathfinder 2nd edition. Consumed by anger. Feat level 9. You boil with rage until you black out. When you use consumed by anger, you gain the following conditions. You gain the confused condition. You can demoralize in spite of the confused condition, and you get a +1 status bonus to intimidation checks to demoralize. Increase your damage with strikes and other offensive abilities by 1. If your confusion would cause you to target your bound side with an attack, you can make a DC 10 flat check. On a success, the action is lost and you do not attack your bound side. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Ectoplasmic Shift. By shifting into the ethereal plane, you can cast invisibility. Obscuring Mist. Giggle Strike. You tickle the big dumb meanie. Make an unarmed strike. On its success, the target is plagued with uncontrollable laughter and it can't use reactions. On a critical success, the target is stunned 1 and can't use reactions. Obviously for 1 turn. Or at least until the end of their turn or something like that. But it needs a duration on that. I am the grown-up now. 2 actions. Adults can't tell you what to do anymore. You can cast Shrink as an innate occult spell once per day. I'm sorry. Right? Yeah, okay. Spirit's Binding. Your strikes cause intense paralyzing fear. Make an unarmed strike. On a success, the creature cannot move further than 50 feet away from you unless they succeed on a will save versus your will DC. Fair enough. Feat 13. You can cast Clownish Curse as a 4th level innate occult spell once per day. Alright. I'm the grown-up now. I mean, I feel that is apt. Hey, Grogan. Haunting Lullaby. To your loved ones, your words are as sweet as honey. To your foes, your words are vicious knives. When you cast a spell or use an ability with the auditory trait, you may choose a number of people within its area of effect to be unaffected by it. My brain just clicked in. Zashi or Arasashi are usually fucking terrifying depictions. Yeah! Thank you for the hydrate. Like, I'm just remembering anime I watched while growing up. Like, specifically, I'm immediately reminded of, Season 1 of Pokemon, the Sabrina arc. Haunting Whispers. Your words carry upon ghostly winds. Hear a whisper now affects each enemy within 30 feet, regardless of the results of your check. Each creature is then temporarily immune to haunting whispers for 1 minute. Ooh. It's spreading. You can't contain your miasma, or rather you don't want to in this moment. You can cast Stinking Cloud as a 3rd level primal innate spell once per day. This does feel very much like here have a spell which isn't bad, but I am noticing a theme with the ancestry. Curse of Anger. Your ally's mind is also consumed by your rage. When you use Consumed by Anger, you can choose 1 ally within 30 feet. They do not have to be willing. They gain the effects of Consumed by Anger as long as you are under its effects. Interesting, but I'm not sure. I wasn't a big fan of Consumed by Anger anyway. Spirit Voyage. Once per day, range 30 feet. You find your ship's whistle that you somehow misplaced. With it, you spend 10 minutes to summon a ghostly sailing ship in a body of water that bears a resemblance to the watercraft you perished on. The ship lasts for 8 hours or until dismissed. They do not have to be willing is also a bit, yeah. I would reconsider that a little bit. Or I'd put uncommon or something on it. Just to kind of flag, hey, you should kind of consider this one a bit. Spirit Voyage is fun though. I would probably have it until, instead of 8 hours, I would have it as until you do your next daily preparations. Cast Stinking Cloud once per day if you have not had a bath or otherwise bathed in the past week. But yeah, Spirit Voyage I would probably have until you do your next preparations. Otherwise, you would have that awkward thing of not really lasting that long if you're trying to go over over a long period of time. You shouldn't be here. You are able to notice when you have unwanted visitors. You gain spirit senses and imprecise sense with a range of 60 feet. Spirit sense enables you to sense the spirits of creatures, including living creatures, most non-mindless and dead, and haunts within the listed range. Not tied to an item or anything, though. As Spirit Sense detects spiritual essence, not physical bodies, it can detect spirits projected by spells such as project, image, or possessing otherwise soulless objects. So this would be a hard counter to Spirit Jar and other spells like that. 17th level, Eternal Trespasser. You are forever ejected from the living and the dead. You can cast Outcast Curse as a 5th level innate occult spell once per day. See, the flavoring behind that, it's kind of hard. Maternal Requiem. Your lullaby has reached its zenith, being able to protect your loved ones and harm any who would hurt you. Hurt your children. When you cast a spell or use an ability with the auditory trait, you may choose a number of people within its area of effect to be affected by the sleep spell. Oh, alright. Poisonous Touch. I feel like this needs a little bit more wording in there. You finally have mastery over your own miasma. Your unarmed strikes are treated as if they have the corrosive rune. This does not count towards the number of runes your unarmed strike may have normally. First killing curse smells like... oh god. Shadow Play. You've learned how to control your shadows and everyone else's. You can cast Illusionary Scene as a 5th level innate occult spell once per day. Vengeful Curse. Your bound sight is a person and they receive damage from a foe you can see within 30 feet of you. The red from your eyes turns to blood as you infect the foe with the effects of a 4th level blood spray curse as an innate spell once per day. Okay. Mariner's Curse. Winter's Embrace. For a minute, you can power your cold aura, increasing its size and power. The aura additionally grants your allies immunity to cold damage and gives enemies cold vulnerability equal to half your level. There's a consideration I'm making at the moment. I think that's it for them. Oh god, there's another ancestry. Okay. Oh god, it's already 10 p.m. So this would be our Kitsune. I may be a fox, but I'm also your bride. I will always come back to you, whether it be on the surface world or in my realm. You will always be welcome. So, it's been a while since I've actually looked at the Kitsune in Pathfinder 2.8. Finder 1E. There it is. Change shape. Yeah, I think this is going to be very similar to the Kitsune. So low light, change shape. Bayaku, your fox form size is medium instead of small, and your speed increases to 30 feet. Your hair and fur is pure white. Gold sun, haunting him. You have chosen Yin, the power of the moon, femininity, and night. You learn the bullhorn cantrip and may cast it as a divine innate spell at will. You also gain a +1 circumstance bonus to stealth checks when in low light. Your hair and fur is black. Nogi, you have chosen nature, the power of the earth and the kami. You learn Tangle Vine cantrip and may cast it as a primal innate spell at will. Your hair and fur is brown. See, now I want to check out the Pathfinder 2e Kitsune, because I think they did some improvements and expansions on it in the Tianjia character guide. Oh, okay. That's a fox with a sword in its mouth. We might be a case of a little bit more sauce. Divine lore. Because it's getting late, I am going to skip some of these. Apologies. Divine lore, that's lore skill. Message cantrip, honed claws, D4 slashing, magical senses, fourth sense, tremor sense, wave sense. Yeah, it's fine. Fourth sense is a little loud, but yeah. Fox avatar, you no longer have a dedicated human form or fox form appearance. Whenever you transform into humanoid form, you're affected by the illusionary disguise spell, so you can just expand it out. Fox substitution. The attack targets your reflex DC instead of your armor class. If the creature critically fails its attack, you teleport a distance up to your speed, leaving behind a logger or substitute that takes the damage for you. I like that. Mayobu. Hello, is this a cute stream? Ooh. It is a little bit. You were summoned earlier as well, Ninzad. I'm not sure if you saw that. You receive a promotion from your foxy superior and are now a fox lord. While in the material plane, you can become invisible as the invisibility spell once per day. Yeah, right. You didn't? You were summoned. Spirit of the Tiger. Your fox form goes to large size, allowing you to be mounted by a medium creature without the normal penalties of being mounted. Additionally, your powerful jaws allow you to wield a single melee weapon that you are proficient with in your teeth. You can only wield a one-handed weapon this way, and wielded weapons don't have the two-handed trait. Oh, I like that! That's a good way to get around a thing I've been working on. Mind you, what I've been working on is animal companions. Sif, the goodest boy? Well, in a way, yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. Spell familiarity. If you're made even bigger. If you're talking about by the enlarged spell or something like that, it's not quite how it works. Usually in Pathfinder 2nd edition, something will, instead of being like your size increases by one size category, it will usually specify a size. You find this particularly from large, where it says you become large. The upside of this is if you're small size, you immediately go to large. The downside, of course, is if you're already large, there's no change. Zenku, spell familiarity, you gain a spell. Fox Lord. Whenever you speak to a fox, kitsune, or Zenku that is lower level than you, they must make a saving throw as if you had cast command of them. Okay. F's in the chat for the form. Inari spell casting. You master the ability to cast spells in your true form. While in fox form, you can cast spells granted to you by ancestry feats, heritage, or spells from scrolls. See, I like that as well. Inari Warrior, Spirit of the Tiger, you're in your fox form. The beast within emerges during times of combat. You are affected by a second rank animal form, but you must choose canine as the specific animal. We've actually seen this a couple of times now. Yogai, once again from Tianjia. They have a feat that allows you to do similar. More spell stuff. Moonlight Shadow. While in Moonlight your power grows, you gain a benefit of a second rank mirror image, except the number of created illusionary images created is 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, alright. Oh, and it builds off another spell. Yeah, okay. Dazzle, yeah. Water onto land. You're wielding a weapon in the polearm, spear, sword, or knife group. Once per day, use an interact action to dip your weapon into a body of water and remove it. You drip 1d4 drops of water onto the ground in front of you, which become harvestable seeds for the next 24 hours. You can use an interact action to have one of these seeds sprout into one of the following. A 5-foot thick, 20-foot high tree, difficult terrain, and a 5-foot burst of the ground. 2 special ingredients. That would be for the meal stuff they have further in. 1d4. Yeah, okay. Once per day. Harvestable, so you can pick them up again. Okay, I can see that. That's pretty cool. Heaven's Messenger. Sending, that's fine. 3 times per day for that. Extra spells. Hayube. You grow a total of 4 tails. You can grow an additional tail up to 9 by performing epic deeds at the approval of your GM. For each tail you possess, you can reuse an extended spell or ability with a once per day frequency granted to you by Zenko feats or your heritage. This is a return from Pathfinder 1. Had a feat that allowed you to, if you were playing a Kitsune, that allowed you to just get more tails and get more spells. Additionally, you can gain life sense as a precise sense for 1 minute once per hour as a free action. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I would have to see how it compares against the... You have to buy this book. Look. I would suggest looking up... You know what? I have Archives of Nephis right here. Yeah, no, I want to see the Kitsune. Show me the ancestry. Change shape's about the same, that's fine. I had a multi-tailed Kitsune and Kingmaker. It's what I'm looking for. Floors, spell familiarity. Fox Asen, Vulpine Scamper. Yeah, no, this... Look, just having a quick look through the Kitsune stuff on the Archives of Nephis, I would kind of suggest... I would suggest Zenko and Kitsune would be interchangeable regarding ancestry feats. That's not a typical rule, just a general calling that I would make as a GM, because there's a lot of crossover between the two. True Tenko, teleport and plane shift, nice. Only destination for recasting a plane shift is the realm of your deity. That's pretty standard. And Zenku spell perfection. It's a lot of spells. That, once again, that's fine. Oh god. Well, Zenko is the last of the ancestries that they have in the Complete Waifu Handbook. Look, they're not kidding. Let's go back to the title page. Kind of as parting notes. One, I'm going to do this again, so if you are just lurking, I would suggest not just following me here, but I'll pop the socials link again. Because I will let people know when I do this again, because we still have so much to cover. We haven't gone into the class stuff. Going into this, I wasn't expecting it to be as comprehensive as it is. There are some things that someone with a bit more experience with Pathfinder 2nd Edition would probably fix up. I'm just gonna put it out there. Stuart Jones from Lone Crew Crafts, if you see this, if you hear this, I'm more than happy to help you on that. Particularly if you want to do an orc version, like for the Pathfinder 2e remaster. Because yeah, the ancestries in this are... I didn't go into the lore for them, but just from a design standpoint for the feats and everything else like that, some of them may need a tune, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. Like they don't seem phoned in. It's... Usually when you see something like this that's, you know, has a 5e version and Pathfinder 2e version, as I've mentioned a couple of times, the Pathfinder 2 stuff usually feels tacked on. In this case, it certainly does not feel tacked on. Like, the writers behind this have done a damn good job of it. And you can tell that this has been very much a labor of love. And as someone who has seen a lot of Pathfinder 2 third-party products, to have this kind of slip under everyone's radar is kind of criminal. Like, I hope someone else in the Pathfinder 2 like scene has seen this and has done something with it. This is damn good. Like, I know creators off the top of my head who this would be a well up their alley, like Phoebe Bain. She'd love this. Nonat, I could see going through this as well and having a time with it. But yeah, I might end up passing it on to them as well. Or at least the link. I'm not going to pass the PDF on to them. Have you gone over Battle Zoo stuff before? Not on stream. I backed the first Kickstarter and the second one. So I backed the first one and I backed Strange and Unusual. I'm a huge fan of their bestiary stuff. You think Nodad did a video on this book at some point? I mean, it's possible. Maybe did a preview or something, maybe? I don't know, man. I like the Battle Zoo stuff. Their monster parts crafting system is something I readily go back to on a pretty consistent basis. Whenever I have a player say, hey, I want to grab like a trophy or something from a creature they've killed, I use their monster crafting stuff for that. I haven't backed the last 2 or 3 Kickstarters they've done. But that's mostly just because I haven't used anything beyond their bestiaries, and I'm happy just to get the bestiaries by themselves. Like, they do a lot of ancestries and stuff like that, and I'm not as interested, I'm sorry. I do want to cover some of the Team Plus stuff, because I like what I see from them as well. But otherwise, we will be coming back to the Complete Waifu Handbook. I like the variety of ancestries as well. It's kind of more along the lines of if a player approached me and was like, hey, I have this specific idea for a character concept, and the ancestries weren't readily available, I would go to Battle Zoo first. And I would see if they have something equivalent to kind of go with that. and it just hasn't come up. And I haven't recently looked at their monster trainer archetype or class. It has been a while. I've just been very involved in my own stuff. So yeah. Next Tuesday is Christmas Eve. I'm not sure what I'm doing for that. I don't personally have plans. But we'll definitely be coming to the Complete Waifu Handbook. Where I will do like the class stuff. Because they have a lot of class stuff. Where is it? That's their classes. So there's a lot of subclass options. Waifu I know is an archetype, and so is the dynamic duo. I believe... What time zone do I use for schedules? Australian Eastern Daylight Time at the moment. I believe my Twitch schedule's localized. However, I don't think how up to date that is at the moment. Just with Christmas and everything else, things get cancelled a lot. So yeah, I'll see if I'm going to come back to this next Tuesday, 7 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Let's see if we can go over the classes and stuff like that. All that said, I am going to be putting this up on YouTube. I was a little bit concerned about maybe there was some stuff that might not be allowed on YouTube, but it looks all kosher. So this will be going up on YouTube in about 48 hours. I've already done the link tree stuff, so check that out there. Otherwise, hello all new people, and thank you for watching and joining me tonight as I've gone through the Complete Waifu Handbook. We are going to raid out. I believe Dwarf is streaming at the moment. Go and double check that. He is in fact streaming. Is there anyone else? Yeah, we'll go to Dwarf. Dwarf is a friend of mine. He's also one of my players. Where is it? There we go. The Dwarf Down Under. He plays in my regular Wednesday streamed game, which is currently on hiatus until the new year, where we'll be coming back for 7 Dooms of Sandpoint. This Saturday, we're continuing on with Stolen Fates. Tomorrow night we'll be back here for Warframe 1999. I'm not sure what's happening with Thursday or Friday at this point. It's all kind of up in the air just because it's Christmas time and stuff like that. Otherwise, thank you for joining me tonight. I wasn't exactly sure how this was going to go. But thank you all for the support on this, and thank you for all the follows and interacting in the chat. It's been great to see. So, all that said, I hope you have a good day, a good night, a good week, no matter where you are in the world. Tell Dwarf I said hi, so I'm probably going to log off for a little bit afterwards. But remember, as always, we are the storytellers. Good night, everyone.